Welcome to the Vault XL live number 4. Thank you for your time. Please check the YouTube queue for my uploaded shorts, community page for breaking news updates. Thank you for your time. News Nation is the source.
I'm joined now by Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, and his spokesperson, Tony Mathis. Thank you to the both of you. And Seth, I'm really so sorry that, here we are having this conversation with News Nation again about your son, Sebastian, and it's been all these months. Do you have any updates? Have you heard anything, any leads, anything at all from the police?
No, ma'am. I haven't. Every lead that I do come across, I have my private investigators searching into it.
And have they come up with anything? Have they been helpful?
Well, we've had pictures of stuff come in. My private investigators track it down. And then we find out that it's just another rabbit hole. Sumner County, I give them all the tips that I get. Just not really.
And so when you give them the tips that you come up with your private investigators, are they thankful? Do they indicate to you that this is helpful? Do you have a good relationship with the police? Do you feel like they're on your side, that they're working hard?
That's what they're conveying to me. But at the same point,
how hard this must be.
I'm not seeing my son's not here. This is my first Father's Day. This is what made me a father is not here.
I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. If there's anything we can do, we'll keep the story in the news. What's so bizarre is that Katie and Chris packed up and left that home. Are you in contact with them at all? I know originally they weren't talking to you at all. They weren't sharing information, which also seems bizarre to me. Even if a split up is acrimonious, you still have this shared goal, right? To find your boy. Has it gotten any better between you and Katie in terms of sharing
it? It doesn't feel like a shared goal. It sure doesn't feel like a shared goal.
Wow.
It feels like it's only my goal and all of Sebastian's army. It's their goal. It's my goal to find Sebastian. But as for contact between me and the Proudfoots, there has been no contact.
Still nothing.
Wow. A lot of dead silence.
The only one that misses my son.
Only one that misses his son. Woo! Mercy.
Let me ask you, Tony, if you can jump in here. I know that you and Seth asked for the FBI to engage, take over, become a part of the case. Where has that gone, if anywhere?
Well, as you well know, Ashley, it's only going to go somewhere if the Sumner County asks for them to take the case over. And kind of where we're at, and where I've been all along, is I just want them to answer one simple question for Seth, and I feel like that he deserves an answer to this question. Are they closer today than they were February 26th? And if the answer to that is no, or we can't get an answer, then I think it's only logical that the case be elevated.
Yeah, it seems, what are we? I think 114 days. I understand that investigators can't always share everything, but do you feel, Tony, that at least they have been, optimistic or helpful or hopeful, or at least been keeping Seth up to speed on what they're doing?
I think that we feel like that the communication could always be better. And, let's put you or I as a parent in Seth's shoes. If they can't give you an answer to the question, are you any further along today than you were 114 days ago? As a parent, are you not terrified to hear that?
I can't imagine that, Seth, if Sebastian can hear you if he's out there. What's your message for him?
Same as it's always been. I need you to get away from whoever you're dear. Get to a phone. My phone is still on, son. The same phone number. Everything. I need you to call me. I need you to call 911.
Wow.
I need you to tell who you are. If you need to tell them that you are wanted. I need you home. I need to know you're safe. I need you, buddy. You've always been my buddy. You've always been my brother.
Always been my buddy. Damn.
Stay strong, Seth. We got your back here. We're going to keep the story on the air. Somebody knows something, and there's going to be a lead that turns up. In the meantime, we do want people to know, Seth Rogers and Tony Memphis, thank you for this. We do want people to know that if you have any information on the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, please call the Sumner County Sheriff at 615-451-3838. Again, take a picture of your screen.
Let me pause that number. In case you all are curious pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, keep it around. Now, do not call this number with foolishness, because some of you surely will do it.
Say it's 615-451-3838. Thank you for watching.
That was Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, and Banfield with News Nation. If you need information for the source, I'm going to recap what was said briefly. Oh, wow. No shared goal to find his son. I'm assuming he's referring to the Proudfoots without having to call their names. Using PIs, pictures have come in. He's given that information to Sumner County Sheriff's Department. She asked him, do they feel thankful, helpful of the information? He says that's what they convey to him. That is what Seth said. But he was cut off when he was trying to say he's not seeing. He's possibly saying he's not seeing any, info or leads. Naturally, police are not going to tell you everything. TBI, FBI. First Father's Day without his son here. Banfield says she finds it strange that Katie and Chris packed up and no effort, to meet up, no matter what went on between the three in the relationship. Exactly. No common ground for a woman who allegedly has a missing child. He tells us here in his commentary, Seth Rogers, there's not a shared goal to find his son. He feels like he's the only one missing his son. So she asks him if he had a message to send out to his child, if his child could hear Sebastian. He lets his son know, I have the same phone number. I'm here. Tell people who you are. I need you home. Need to hear from you. Need to know that you're safe. You've always been my buddy. Wow. In this commentary, you can see that Seth is distraught, whether you like him or not. Don't like the things he's done and said the past month or two. But anywho, he seems like he was crying in this news interview. If you have information to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, please dial 615-451-3838. Sweet Jesus. This is bad. Most people aren't accustomed to seeing and hearing a man cry. Okay? But at some point, depending on who you are and if you have any empathy in you, you would be moved yourself to have empathy and or to cry for the father. I have yet to hear the biological mother cry, moan, fall out since her first interview. I believe that's with WKRN or one of the news entities. I believe she seemed a little teary-eyed, but other than that, since then, it's been all jokes and fun time of talking about milkshakes, Coca-Cola, and Skittles. Nothing serious pertaining to the disappearance of a child. Talks readily about his likes, dislikes. Some may find it interesting information. And some of us who are woke, we are not enthralled by the information. Because what you have to tell yourself is the obvious. Many children who go missing, no matter the age, it is because of their biological parent or caregiver, they are gone. Now, people will argue back and forth how you should feel about the situation. As I tell people, you can't tell me how to feel. You can't tell me how to feel. Yes, I know that people deal with things differently. I'm not a fool. But as an observer, you can't tell me to see what you see. I can hear what you're saying, but it does not mean I agree with what you're saying, because that's the point. I'm not you. You see what you want in the looking glass. You may see the glass full. I may see it half empty, so on and so forth. I will agree with what Mr. Rogers has to say. I don't see a shared goal in finding his child by the parents, the Proudfoots. I do not. I do not. And we're now approaching month 4, and I still do not. With careful observation to their demeanor on YouTube, because that's all I have to judge them on. And that is the reason why it is best to think before speaking. Your mother and father should have taught you that growing up. Speak when spoken to. That's what these two nimwits need to understand. Speak when spoken to. Because obviously you don't know how to talk. You do not know how to carry on a civilized conversation about a missing child. So therefore, you should possibly not speak. I'm very happy that he went to News Nation instead of another YouTuber. Thank you. The church says amen. Thank you, thank you. Because as I brought you commentary the other day from Coffin Daffer, this is not the place for rhetoric and he said and she said and throwing daggers and pointing fingers by parents. There should be a concern and effort to stand together in unison to get the word out about your child. That is your child. You both created the child. Then you two should be on the same page. Nothing that has transpired here on YouTube should have ever happened. But it's water under the bridge. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. And that's why somebody should teach a grown-up or should have taught a grown-up as a child to speak when spoken to. Don't speak. What does it always say? You don't have anything kind to say, don't say anything at all. Well, amen. Some would say that too about being here on YouTube, but this is a commentary channel, so I give my commentary. I don't have a missing kid. Checkmate. So I give my commentary. I don't see a joint effort, a shared goal either, Mr. Rogers, to find your child. Now, what law enforcement is doing, I can't speak on what they are doing, but I'm going to trust TBI because I live in this great state of Tennessee. So I'm going to put my faith and my prayers in the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation if I don't put it in anybody else. Do they have a suspect? Do they have a something pertaining to this boy? What do they have? Let me say that first. What do Sumner County, TBI, FBI, CIA, what do you have pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? Do you have this child walking out, sitting out, rolling out? Jesus, what do you have? Do you believe this is a criminal investigation? Is this a criminal investigation? Are you looking at family members, parents, neighbors? What have you found in the data of all persons living in that house? Father, Mr. Rogers, friends, associates, gaming conversations, everything known that the child ventured into? Did the child download any apps? Go into any apps? Did he go into the WhatsApp? What do you have pertaining to conversations of this child? Do you believe the child walked out? I think you've kindly told us that you don't by telling us you don't have surveillance. You're kindly giving us what we need, but some of us don't want to hear it for some crazy reason. Because that's the point, is it not? Your perception. Oh, don't say anything bad. Oh, you don't know what they did. You don't know what they did. I know what they didn't do. How about that? I know what they did not do. They have not shown any care for the child while missing. So therefore, you're telling me as a grown-up, a 53-plus-year-old woman, that you didn't care when he was visible. Checkmate. And I think it's time that Mr. Rogers comes to grips with this. I don't think Seth wants to acknowledge that possibly his child is not alive. And I get that because that's his child. Sebastian is not Queen's child. So I can't tell that man to move on, move forward. I'm an outsider looking in. And what I see so far is muddy, murky. It's atrocious. And it's sad you have to compare this case to a case such as Riley Strain to say, this is how you act with a missing child. That is so abhorrent to even have to compare the two. Jesus Christ, where are we? What is this, Russia? Come on. What are we, Afghanistan, third world country? Hey, have a little empathy. No one should have to tell you to have empathy for a child. No one should tell you how to act right in talking about a child. But some of you are so stupid. It's like talking to a toddler. You can't see there's something wrong here, but yet you want to go on and argue with people in the chat and on Facebook about who the fuck did what. Jesus, what do you need, a magnifying glass to see there's something off with these fucking parents? That's the point. It's been off. That's why he's missing. I don't need a fucking looking glass. I don't need CCTV footage. I got a full view right up here at YouTube. Free. No subscription needed. Don't have to pay a finder's fee. And I don't need a key to the city. It's ridiculous. You don't know what happened. You weren't there, and you weren't there either. Stop the nonsense. You see, a lot of people are rallying with these Proudfoots because you are like them. I said that and spell my name with a capital letter A when you talk about Queen. Come on with it, Queen, because they ain't ready. I don't have to know what happened. I'm listening to how you talk about the boy. That's enough for me. So as I've told people, I can compartmentalize each of these parents into a little bitty Hershey Kiss box. Okay? And I'm judging them accordingly. So I don't need a play-by-play of a horror movie to say who did what to whom on February 25th, 26th. I'm going by how you act, and that's all I've got to go on. And if you are showing me that you do not care for the child, you don't talk about the child in a proper, appropriate manner, then that is what you thought of the child when they were visible. Anybody knows this? You've heard people talk about dead people, have you not? And what did you say to yourself? Oh my God, I can't believe what they're saying about him. Oh my gosh, he's dead. Exactly. So imagine what the fuck they said when he was living. What's the problem? Where's the confusion? What are you confused about? So even if these people did nothing to the child to harm the child, let me say this for the dodo birds in the back that stay asleep. You know, those smoking on crack pipes and meth. Our little heroin addicts that walk around in a daze. Yeah, I said that. If they didn't hurt the boy, they still didn't care for him. Checkmate. Ding, ding, ding. Say it again, Queen. If the Proudfoots did nothing to this child, they never cared. What are you confused about? I do feel bad for Mr. Rogers because listening to him, he sounds very genuine in this interview. You're entitled to your opinion. That's my opinion. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Hell, the earth isn't going to open up because I thought this way or that way about Seth Rogers or the damn Proudfoots. They're not my gatekeeper. So in the end, what I think of them is quite irrelevant. But something sinister happened, in my opinion, pertaining to the child. And I'm wondering, when will the father come to the grips, come to the realization that something is off? He knows there's something off, but he does not have to tell America. He knows the behavior of the Proudfoots is off and it's sinister. As someone once told me many years ago, I don't gotta let you know that I mistreated you. I did you wrong. I know what I did, but I ain't gotta tell you that what I did to you was wrong. So it's the same thing with talking to the public. You are assuming as an outsider that you're getting the full disclosure of what these people have to say on the news and YouTube. But where you are mistaken is that because a person's mouth is moving, it does not mean it is the spoken word. Does not mean it's the truth. Because in the end, your truth is not my truth. Okay? Just like two people see an event happen, and then you ask each person to repeat what happened, and naturally, each person will add something different. That's just the way it is. Where is the child? Who knows where the child is? Is the child alive or is the child deceased? And will this father ever come to grips with the possibility that the child is not alive? Because what you have to tell yourself is the obvious. If he's alive, then where is he? He's not somewhere on his own. Allegedly, the father says he doesn't have the aptitude to navigate by oneself, thyself. So then that would leave another two-legged creature who would have to be minding the child. Or the child met foul play with some random stranger. He walking down the street or wherever. But then the police tells us, well, he didn't wander out. He didn't come out. So you scratch that. This is why I tell you nobody's paying attention. They're already telling you what's going on. You don't want to hear it. And I think Seth doesn't want to hear it. And that's his choice. That is his choice, not mine. They tell you, hey, he ain't come out of there. So then you got to ask yourself, well, my goodness, if he didn't come out, where is he? Well, use your imagination. Use your imagination. What the hell do you think he is? Anybody have any ideas? Katie, Chris, do you have any ideas where he is if he didn't come outside? Somebody's not listening. Say it again, Queen. He didn't come outside. So therefore, he's where? Ding, 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 ding. We got to keep saying this to the people who just want to keep going on and arguing about shit, and they already telling you what happened to him, but don't nobody want to say it out loud. Say it again, Queen. He didn't come outside. He ain't seen coming out. Uh-oh. So all this nonsense, flashing lights and shit, and dump trucks, and the car was parked over there, and she said she saw this. Her ass should have been in the damn bed. Hell you doing walking around in the damn dark, testifying, or as black folks love to say, testifying. Just stop it. Just stop it. Ignorant. Just stop it. Something sinister has befallen this 15-year-old boy. I think we know this, those of us who are woke. Because if you want to believe he is somewhere in the house with some party, then that means he left the restaurant and got in the care of another. Take your pick. Katie Proudfoot, let me talk to you for just a second. What I'm about to say is called Commenter's Choice. This is where I take a comment from the chat, from a video, a post, or during a live stream, and I make it into a title of a video. Here we go. 2 people have commented. Matter of fact, somebody just wrote on my post, said, Katie divorced Seth. If you follow where I'm going with this. And I caught what they meant. Exactly, 2 times. Katie, you've divorced Seth Rogers twice, have you not? Some of you sitting in the audience trying to figure out where the hell I'm going with this. Well, I want you to think about it for just a second. Katie, you have divorced Seth Rogers twice, have you not, ma'am? Is this your revenge, ma'am? You were tired of dealing with Seth Rogers, so you got rid of the boy. Because we can chop up 1,000 motives for why a woman would unalive her child. Some would say autism, tired of dealing with him, don't want to fool with him, don't want to wrangle with being bothered. Down the road, want complete freedom. No babysitting, no going to pick him up, no bringing him back to the house. Stay woke. Could be finances, don't know. Or could it be I'm tired of dealing with Seth? Because I see that there's some type of resentment between both of you. And if we go back and listen to Mr. Seth talk about how he feels, if indeed the child went missing, same day as divorce years ago, he basically saying he feels betrayed by Katie Proudfoot. 2 days that she's hurt him, caused him pain. So basically he's saying he knows she did something to his child, whether it was neglect or deliberate. Which one did you mean, Seth? Because you have not told us. And I think you don't want to say it because you know that once you finally say that ultimate statement, you won't be able to take it back. But I think deep down inside, you know that something terrible happened to your boy and that the Proudfoots are culpable. They are responsible. They are the orchestrator, the destructor. And that would have to be a terrible place to be in, to think to yourself that your ex-wife has harmed your child for whatever reason. Doesn't matter the reason, because the reason is illogical. He's a child. And if at any point she could have just gave him over to the father and kept it moving, but you see, that is our logic, not the logic of a psychotic person. So I'm talking to you, Mrs. Proudfoot. Did you divorce Seth Rogers twice, ma'am? You divorced him many years ago on paper? And did you also divorce him by unaliving your child? Checkmate. Thank you for the commenter who put that on my post. Katie's revenge. Is this a motive for the unaliving of a boy child? Katie was tired of dealing with Seth. Could it be that more than just a child? Dealing with the child, I got to deal with the father. My. Child almost grown. But he wasn't grown enough to go out in the world and take care of himself. So he's a lifelong obligation. So it could be a combination of reasons to get rid of a child. Yes, she's a Mrs., is she not? Missy. Faith. How the fuck do you sit and fix your face to sit with this child knowing your child is missing? Katie Proudfoot, help the queen understand. It's baffling to me to take in somebody else's child and your child is missing. You need to stick to rearing dogs because you and Christopher love puppies. I'm well aware you all love dogs. But obviously no love for a 15-year-old. You just was riding the wave. You know who you remind me of, Katie? I think you're just another Lori Vallow Daybell. Checkmate. You were riding the wave of life, but you were never happy. You were never satisfied. You have never been content. And many of us have lived this life. But we haven't unalived children, mistreated children. See, there's a difference. So therefore, hey, I get it. Things aren't going your way. You want a better life. You want better things. You want a better child. You want a different child. You want a child that you can talk about, brag about. As I've talked about this in my commentary before, so bear with me if I repeat myself. You want a child you can brag about. And that must make you feel some type of way. You're going out to the mall and different places and people are talking about their children and showing all these pictures and posting to Facebook what little Johnny did. Johnny made the football team. Johnny's got a new girlfriend. Johnny's going to Europe this summer. Johnny's going to be interning over at this such and such company. Johnny. But you couldn't say that about your child. Huh. Well, now, did that anger you? You could not say things about your boy child to others. Infuriating. Son of a bitch. I can't tell people anything about my boy. Wow. Wow. And I get it, because we all have done it. Looked at other people. Look at her. She's pretty. She's thin. She's got long hair, short hair, wavy hair, pretty eyes, long eyelashes, blah, 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 blah. Big old butt, big old breasts, little bitty waist, whatever the hell it is. But we are not supposed to envy others. Katie Proudfoot. And there comes a point in life when you get to my age, you're not there yet, but you will if you're not in penitentiary, and it won't fucking matter then. But anywho, you sit back and you look at things and you say to yourself, sweet Jesus, I was envying that motherfucker for nothing. Excuse my language. I was envying this person for nothing. Look at her. She's lost all her hair. She's got marital problems. Her kids are troublemakers. Who the hell needs that aggravation? Exactly. That's why you're not supposed to envy people. But we're human. Damn, they got a pretty house. Damn, they got a lot of nice things in her house. Damn, they got flat screens in every room. They got a swimming pool. The grass is so plush. It smells so good. Damn, they got a nice truck. Wish I had that truck. Damn. And then you start listening to conversations at the Starbucks, at the park, and you start realizing, truck don't look too good. House don't look too good. Husband don't look too good. Hell, she don't look too good. Because you start hearing things that don't sound too nice. Maybe she's starting to drink a little more. Maybe the husband doesn't like to keep his pecker in his pants. He likes to spread it around town. So this life you've been envying is just a farce. Oh, my goodness. They're having financial troubles. Oh, my God. I thought the house was halfway paid for. No, girl. Girl. He owe money on that house, girl, honey. He owe money on that house, honey. They owe money, honey. Honey, they ain't even got no money in the bank account. What you say, girl? Honey, they ain't got no money in that bank account. Wait a minute, girl. They live in that big old pretty house. Girl, please, girl. They done missed 2 mortgage payments, girl. Girl, wait a minute, girl. Let me tell you about the truck note, girl. Girl, they didn't miss payments on the truck, girl. Girl, they ain't paid the home association fees. What? You lying? No, girl, I ain't lying. You see, sometimes the glass is half empty. Sometimes the glass is half empty. Sometimes there's not even water in the glass. Sometimes the glass is broken. You see, nobody's perfect. But there comes a point in your life when you must stand account for what you have been doing out here in the universe. And you have to own your shit. You gotta walk it out. Can't talk about it. Gotta be about it. And children don't ask to be here. They don't ask to come here. And they didn't choose their parents. That's why the story is so sickening. Because he didn't choose Seth and he didn't choose Katie. But sadly, that was the hand that was dealt to him. And perhaps Sebastian looked at others just the way we as adults look at others, envying them. Perhaps he envied others. He wanted to be different. He wanted different parents. He wanted to be somewhere else. He wanted to be in the world doing things. Did it ever occur to any of you while you're sitting up here moaning and groaning about these two-legged creatures, did it ever occur to you that the child wanted more? Checkmate. So one thing I haven't heard on YouTube since people have been talking about him. Not one of you have ever said, what about him? What did he want out of life? What did he desire? It's been about these other motherfuckers. What about Sebastian? What was his thought process when he got up in the morning, when he went to bed, when he went to school? All I've heard is nothing but derogatory talk about a 15-year-old autistic boy with no fucking regard for his feelings. And everybody's acting like they're so fucking concerned. You are not. Because you don't even know how to fucking role play. That's how I know. You don't even speak about how he must have felt living with the Proudfoots. It should be obvious. Look at the way they talk about him. And yet you'll still rally behind these motherfuckers. Now go run tell that. It's atrocious. How did Sebastian Rogers feel about his life, his journey? Talk about that. Put that in your title. How did this boy feel? Oh, nobody has nothing to say. Oh, okay. Katie, where is your son? Katie Proudfoot, where is your son? Because I'm tired of you and that little Teletubby running up here to YouTube as if these YouTubers are giving you free cheese for your lunch. No, ma'am. Where is your child? You're just like the whales. You don't want to talk to the news, but you want to talk to a YouTuber. What the YouTuber gonna do for you? Nothing. Let's make a bet. God forbid you all hurt the boy and you get arrested. I want to see the first YouTuber put money on the books concurrently until there is no breath left in you. Checkmate. Show the receipts on your YouTube channel. Every fucking money you put on a card for Katie and Christopher Proudfoot in jail, show it on your channel. You like talking about the motherfuckers all the time. Well, show a fucking receipt when they get arrested. Show a receipt you went to the jail and you put money on a fucking card for commissary. You people are sick. You people are really sick. Katie's revenge. Did she unalive her child to rid herself of Seth Rogers? To be done with Seth. No longer have to deal with him. And also, she don't have to deal with the child. He's a burden. What do we say? Dead weight, literally. Don't want to be bothered anymore. Don't want to be troubled. I want to be free. Happens every day. 450 children are murdered by their mothers each year, says the FBI. People kill their spouses every day for money, for other relationships. Why would it be different here in a small town called Hendersonville, Tennessee? It would not be. It would not be. Now, this is the part of the live where I'm going to get a little messy. Because I can. Don't mind me. You can put your headphones back on for this part of the live. But I decided to put this in the live stream as the third topic of the hour. Well, since we're talking about Seth and his conversation to News Nation, Katie's possible revenge against Seth in unaliving her child, I decided to ask this question pertaining to this little YouTuber, our little leprechaun. Why did you move to Tennessee? I'm curious, sir. I'm still trying to figure it out. Well, why did you move here, sir? See, we're still trying to figure out this issue with you and Michaela, sir. Yeah, we're still curious, some of us. We're really trying to understand, were you talking to Michaela before you met Seth? Or Michaela came on as a searcher, helper, and then you came in the picture as the YouTuber trying to help him in the story and get the story out. And then that's how you met Michaela. I'm confused. So somebody sent me this picture. I put it on my community page. No disrespect. Allegedly, this person is not alive. So it's no disrespect in showing this man if he is deceased. But where I'm trying to take this information is the obvious. Allegedly, they're saying this person in this picture looks like our little leprechaun. And that this guy also had cancer. Now, this YouTuber said he had cancer, and the cancer spread to here or there. I don't know, because I don't keep up with that type of nonsense. But anywho, I started thinking to myself, I said, Self, well, is this the reason why she likes this little leprechaun? It's because she was in his chat and she heard he had cancer, and she's dealt with cancer before with the loved one. So this is why she was attracted to him? I'm kind of confused. So, sir, little YouTuber, do you have cancer or you don't have cancer? And where the hell am I going with this? You people are funny to me. You people are weird. What was the motive for coming here? I'm confused. What is the motive for talking about Hendersonville in your YouTube streams? Who cares? You're in Tennessee. So what? I live here too. You want a cookie? What do you want, a cookie? Tootsie Roll. Oh, I live down the street from the Proudfoots. No, you do not live down the street from the Proudfoots. But if you want to brag about it, hell, just go on over and knock on their door. Maybe Katie invite you over for dinner. Oh, she don't like to cook, so she'll take you out to eat. She'll take you to Texas Roadhouse. And we hear you love to eat. Let's let you tell your fans, nobody would feed you. But yet you got all these super stickers and chats. Your little ass should be quite full. Order out, motherfucker. Call Uber, DoorDash. Don't your cell phone work? Get your ass something to eat. All this is bizarre. These entities surrounding themselves in the story pertaining to missing children. That's where I'm going with this. It's so meticulous if you pay attention. There's always a reason for the season. So you have a YouTuber who's barely living, falls out with a girlfriend. She wants him to get the fuck out of her house. He tangles himself up with Seth Rogers. Then this girl, Michaela, she gets tangled up somehow in this web. And then we start hearing all this crazy stuff about how he mistreated this woman, trashed her house, took everything out the house, belonging to their little studio or whatever. Then he's in Tennessee. He goes live from the child's vigil, but he's not really talking to anybody, which that was strange and bizarre. And then he wants to talk on and live streams about living down the street from the Proudfoots. It's all bizarre to me. But he's typical. He's like a lot of people. He's just doing shit for attention. But it's still sick because we're talking about a missing kid. So I'm trying to understand the ulterior motive, sir, for you coming to Tennessee. Because allegedly you were talking to a lot of women. A lot of women. We've seen the text messages, a few. How did you meet Michaela, sir? What was the end game, sir? Why were you going to bring another lady down here by the name of Becky who had a whole boyfriend or fiance? He didn't know nothing about you. He had to find out the hard way. You were going to bring her to Sebastian's vigil. So this is where I'm confused. So how are you going to bring this white woman down here to stay what? In another white woman's house? Help me understand. I'm confused. I'm really confused. What's that old song? Papa was a rolling stone. Woo! Wherever he lay his hat was his home. Is that what we're talking about? You are the papa. The papa that ain't taking care of the children. Oh, and that's another thing. Telling the chat, you got your children. I don't know if I believe that. Because sure, it'd be stupid to send her children down here knowing you ain't paid one damn dollar for child support and you want it for child support. But you want people to believe that so they can quit talking about you. But as you see, this big girl over here, she talking about you again. Because I'm confused as hell. At the ulterior motive of you coming here. Because I'm trying to figure out why you picked Tennessee. Ding, 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 ding. Come on with it, Queen. What's so special about Tennessee? I know a lot of people are migrating here from all over the United States because we are allegedly a more cheap state to live in. But now the rent sky high. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you here? Did you come here to help Seth? You decided, well, Tennessee is a nice state. I'm going to move down here, cover this story, zoom in on the pocket change. I mean, where are we going with this? I'm confused. I'm trying to understand. What was the point in you coming here? Because what is baffling is if you told that girl, Becky, if you asked her to come here, then you couldn't have been going to hook up with Michaela, because that wouldn't make any sense. So what were you going to do with Becky? You two were going to just stay in a hotel, you attend a vigil, then when you're done, you were going to go back where you live, but you couldn't go back where you live because Athena wanted you out of her fucking house. So I'm confused. Or were you just using this girl, Becky, just because you could? So you told her, yeah, I'm going to Tennessee, I'm going to cover the vigil, blah, blah, blah. But you really had no intention of bringing her down here. Oh, Raquel, use Becky for a ride. Possibly so. What I'm trying to explain to everybody is that chaos breeds chaos. That's where I'm going with this. What started out as a little boy missing, a father crying and moaning on TV and out there trying to search for his child, and two other parents disappearing, took off in a camper, people coming to search, Cajun Navy, run off, allegedly people taking down flyers, gossip started flying everywhere. It was brewing chaos. So then here comes your little messy YouTubers. They're right in the mix. Don't know shit from Shinola, but they got to be in the mix. Then here comes chat members. They want to run to the scene and look around and take pictures and do dirty work for YouTubers. Don't you know the devil don't pay you nothing? Ain't your mammy told you that? You're working for the devil for free? Oh, somebody didn't tell you. Well, Queen's telling you now. The devil don't pay you nothing. So you have been working for free. What's the end result to it all? You see, I'm a watcher. It's what somebody said to me one night when I was out a few years back. I was sitting at a bar, and this guy who's all up in my damn Kool-Aid, he said, "You're a watcher. You like to watch people." I said, "I sure do." Isn't that what you're supposed to do in a bar? Watch, listen, and learn. Because I always go out by myself, so I had no choice but to watch. Duh. I'm keeping my eye on everything. And that's what I do in the true crime stories. I'm a watcher. I watch people. I don't jump on the bandwagon just because everybody else is jumping on a certain notion about the people in the story. And we learned with this case that people had negative things to say within 1 week of Sebastian going missing. We heard that in that news interview with the reporter, which was baffling. Things started coming out about Christopher Proudfoot. Nosy Parker started digging in his past with Nina and Faith and divorces and all that other type of bullshit. And I knew then, I said, this ain't going to be good because they're already digging in this man's past about his marriages. Because there's just people who just don't have nothing better to do. They love digging. You go true finder, you go true finder. I'm not going nowhere. I ain't got that kind of time. Got time for that shit. You know, you have to use deduction. When you start digging in the belly of the beast, you know, it's an old saying, you get your ass in there, you may not be able to climb out. Some of you don't understand that about digging and shit. Keep on digging down in there. Christopher Proudfoot knows. Fuck around and find out. Okay? Sometimes it's best to leave well enough alone. But some of you are busy bees. You're busy bodies. You don't have nothing to do at home. So you love staying on the internet, searching. Digging. But see, what's the end result to all the motherfucking digging? You don't still know where Sebastian is, because he's the gist of the story. Say it again, Queen. All the digging about who's married to Peter, Paul, Dick, Mary, Susie, Shamiqua, Bubba. You still don't know where the child is. So what has all the digging done? Nothing. Anonymous posts pretending to be Christopher Proudfoot's cousin. Let's go there. Some random crackpot posting shit and you believe it. Oh, it's true. Could be a 10-year-old fucking around on a computer. You don't know. Bones found at St. Jude already getting riled up. Did you do your homework to find out there's a cemetery with dead people in it where they moved the bones a while back? Hell no. Because that's a part of the story you don't want to hear. Let's hope for Christopher Proudfoot's sake, it is an old bone. I'm just saying. Mr. Leprechaun, are you enjoying Tennessee? Have we been kind to you down here? Or are you ready to go back up north? I'm just curious. Or is Michaela, you tired of him now? Wishing you never invited him here to stay? And the fact that we know there's something mentally wrong with you, you've heard all this salacious stuff about him, the other women, and yet you still will let him sleep in your house. That means you don't have you have low self-esteem about yourself, that you would take up with a man that you did not know and invite him to come stay in your house. Allegedly, I believe you went and picked him up from Athena's house, if that was you. You knew that he was friends with Seth, allegedly, and both of you have stabbed Mr. Rogers in his back because Seth says he liked the young lady or was dating her. Something. I don't think Seth lied about that. You're entitled to your opinion. So that tells me a lot about who you are. That you're a dirty bugger. That you're no different than the little leprechaun. You're both evenly yoked. You're both grifters. Say it again, Queen. You're both grifters. You're both on the hunt to try to up one. But see, what's going to happen is somebody's going to get hurt from trying to up the other one. Because that's what happens when you have grifters crossing paths with one another. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. Because you can't have two grifters. It doesn't work. And I think that's exactly what was going on pertaining to the leprechaun and Michaela. Michaela saw a way to manipulate Seth Rogers. The dirty YouTuber found a way to manipulate Seth Rogers in grifting off the story. Then he crossed paths with Michaela. So he either crossed paths with Michaela before Seth Rogers or during the Sebastian Rogers story. And everybody was on the grift trying to up one over the other. And now we have a dirty YouTuber allegedly living here in Tennessee with another little dirty grifter. But what's going to happen is one of you going to end up getting fucked up. And God have mercy on your soul. And if you met Seth under the guise of grifting off of his child to make money for your channel, you are a low-down motherfucker. Whether we are all monetized or not monetized, the point still remains there's a way of doing things. That's my point. So if you met Seth to try to get a heads up of what was going on in the story to use for content for your channel, then you were deceptive. And nothing good is going to come to you until you stand a tone for doing that man like that. And if Michaela is using Mr. T-Rev, she's going to pay the piper as well. And if T-Rev is using Michaela, he's going to have to stand account for using her as well. That's the point.
They've put themselves right in the middle of an ugly situation.
How you come in talking? Damn.
Hello, gorgeous.
How about hello, Miss Queen? How you doing, Miss Queen?
I said hello, gorgeous.
Damn, I ain't heard none of that. I just heard the lawnmower was kicking.
Oh my goodness.
I said, damn.
I thought I said hello, gorgeous, and then I realized it hadn't kicked in on the.
No, I hadn't brought you up. You'd have got the lawnmower on high. Damn. The hell?
I'm so tickled.
Oh my Jesus. Let's start with number one. The interview with Banfield.
The interview with Banfield you're talking about with Seth?
No, Mickey Mouse. Damn. Hell. Oh man. Look, you starting to act like AB now. Don't start.
Sorry, I've been really busy. Queen.
Well, hell, you need to go back downstairs and come back up. Look, let me let you go downstairs.
I might.
Damn.
Get up out of the basement. My goodness. I think that I think it's good that Seth is now back on the major news network.
Yes, that's where he needs to be. That's where he needs to be.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's where he needs to be.
Absolutely. I actually sent him a message and told him as much as a YouTuber. Did you?
Well, wait a minute. Before we go into that, can I read you something somebody sent to me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh, they just love sending me stuff. You all have got to stop sharing with the queen. I'm getting older now. Just stop this nonsense now. Oh, this is very interesting information here. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Back to our little leprechaun. This is what someone has to say about our little dirty T-Rev. Oh my goodness. This is from That Guy Smoke. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday. I know some of you have previously seen me over on T-Rev's channel as a guest. Well, I can assure you that they'll never happen again. I normally don't agree with these posts, but I'm not holding back any longer. He's decided upon himself to remove me from everything associated with him, all because he saw a few of his haters in my chat. I had been nothing but loyal to him ever since we made amends from this same stunt he pulled earlier this year, which I don't know what he's talking about, but anywho. Once again, used and stabbed in the back. I apologize to anyone who is still affiliated and have no plans on bad-mouthing him. Just blows my mind. But rest assured, this train doesn't stop. Love you all and God bless. What do you think about that? From That Guy Smoke. Interesting. So what I'd like to know is what's the incident they had earlier in the year, the stunt?
Well, I do know that I was there earlier in the year up until February, and there was a mass exodus because of the way he did his moderators and he told people to do this to certain people. And
do what? Specify.
To find a problem and find dirt on people and try to get rid of people.
Well, I just find that so interesting.
This is the game.
T-Rev, you're disinvested in sabotage and doxing people and having people hunt down in the chat. Is your life this fucking miserable that this is what you would do, is try to use people to go hunt other people down to find dirt on them, this means you are really a low-life motherfucker. Yeah, I said that. But this is what I'm talking about right here. These are the kind of people who don't need to be talking about a missing child. Look, we're all flawed. I get it. We have bad days. We can be vengeful. But it shouldn't be that serious to where if you fell out with a mod or you fell out with somebody in the chat, you are now going offline and trying to find them and hunt them down and get in their inbox and find out who their mama, daddy, sister, cousin is, and then come back on the channel and say, oh, yeah, I found out they sister in jail or they mama on crack. And I mean, you're too old for that.
Yeah. Or inventing things and
or
lying
whatever.
on people.
Or whatever.
Yeah. But this is what I tried telling you earlier, Vault. This is what T-Rev does. Like, it's his MO. It's how he operates. And it's like, and people can sit there and say, oh, you know, Regina this, Regina that. I don't give a crap. I'm proud of every one of my misdemeanors. Let me explain this. I don't sit around having people dig up dirt on people that I find threatening to me. First of all, what kind of little man needs anybody to fight his battles for him?
That's what he needs people because he ain't but 3 feet tall. So I guess this is what the fuck he do. He got little man syndrome. He mad at the world because he a little person. So he feel like, well, I'll use these people while I'm behind the microphone to have them do my dirt and shit. You all should have seen this behavior with him. That's why I'm confused. Anybody that would listen to this bullshit behind closed doors would be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this shit. Because it's not that serious.
Right. Well, you don't at first. You don't see that he's doing all this because he's got people. He literally will tell people to be friendly to you to get dirt on you. Like, and there's people in his crew right now. They have all these fake accounts. You guys, it is a game. It really is. And it's
the short time that I watched him, you know, dealing with the 4 guys that died, and I never picked up on any of that because I didn't watch him windedly for hours. But I would have never thought, listening to the few times he had the people call in or whatever, I never would have thought that person I was watching is this person here.
Yeah.
But that's the point. I didn't know him. So there you have it.
Exactly. And see, he paints this picture for everyone like everything's wonderful and he's this awesome songwriter. He's not.
No, he's miserable. He's a miserable human being. He's very
miserable human being.
He's very miserable.
But he paints this picture like he's your friend and he cares about you and he invites you into the group and he treats you like family until you are someone that has a voice or other people like. Because if other people in the group like you, he sees you as a threat. This is no joke. This is how he is MO.
Well, then it doesn't really make any sense to have a group.
With that smoke. It just happened with that smoke.
But what I'm saying, that defeats the purpose of a Discord, Facebook group. That defeats the purpose of having the YouTube channel and having the chat. If you feel like that, you should just be a one-man show. You read off your content, don't have no comments, upload the videos, and let it play out. There are YouTubers who don't have audiences. They don't go live. They upload their content, and they have lots of viewers.
But
that's probably what he should be doing.
But here's the problem with that. He is not the one that does all the research and stuff. People feed it to him. He wouldn't have a channel without his Discord. All of his information that he gets comes from people that are his moderators and from members of his channel. That's what people don't realize. He does none of the legwork. He is literally a grifter off of his Discord.
Well, a lot of people don't do work on their channels. We know this because people like to get in the inbox and say, I'll gather information for you. I'll do stuff for you. So people offer to help. I'm sure that's what happened with him. Somebody offered. He took advantage of it. Somebody else offered. And that's how he gets his content is he lets people do the legwork.
Allegedly, Amber, let me explain this. I used to be a moderator for him, and nothing I'm saying is false.
Hey, don't do that.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying these are actual facts.
Don't
that
look
I'm
at
telling.
the chat. Don't look at the chat.
100%. These are actual facts that I'm saying, and there are so many people out here that can tell you that what I'm saying is true about T-Rev 757.
Do not look at the chat. You are up here on the panel. So people are looking at you to give your opinion. Don't argue with nobody in the chat.
I put it on the private chat, so I'm not even going to look at it, Queen.
No, don't look at the people in the chat.
I used to be a moderator for T-Rev. I was a moderator for T-Rev for almost 2 years, you guys. Almost 2 years. A loyal member and loyal moderator. And he told another admin to get rid of me and to find a problem with me. And they did. He was having meetings with other moderators and stuff. He's always trying to figure out, is someone a snake in his Discord from another channel or chat? It's like this paranoid craziness that goes on. And you will see it for yourselves. He is not mentally well.
Well, look.
That's why you're a new moderator. People come in and out like revolving doors. I'm one of the longest lived moderators on his channel.
Well,
and low 12 and Midwest, and he got rid of all of them.
Listen, I don't know what happened between him and Seth, but I feel like it's some hanky panky. I do believe Seth liked the girl. From my understanding, he liked her. I don't think Seth's lied about that. So nobody can argue back and forth to say what's true and what's not. Because if you're not with Seth every day, you weren't with Michaela, you weren't with T-Rev, you can't say who was liking who was dealing with who. You understand what I'm saying? You can't say. You're not. Nobody's in his pocket to say what the fuck is going on with Seth and any woman. I don't really care. What I'm trying to make people understand is that chaos breeds chaos. That's the point of where I'm taking this. It's that shit like this of a child missing is what breeds this type of nonsense. That's the point of this video. Is that it's bad enough a child is missing. He has parents at odds with one another, which would show us they were at odds before he went missing. Then you got these other people leeching on to the story for their own financial and self-gain to boost their own sick egos.
Yes.
That's where I'm taking this.
Yes. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it, Queen, myself personally, because how can you sit there and say you're an advocate for any of these people in any shape, form, or fashion, and then expose them in negative ways whenever this person is missing their child? Like, so none of it makes sense to me.
Well,
how
he doesn't care.
Do that?
T-Rev is just like a lot of other YouTubers. It is just something to talk about for that moment. He does not care about Sebastian. He does not care about Seth. That's obvious. And this shit with this little girl that he's tangled himself up with, she doesn't mean anything. Just like he didn't give a fuck about Athena. He didn't give a fuck about her house. He didn't care about his children. He didn't care about Sherry. This is his MO. He's a hopper. He's a runner. He just go from place to place, manipulating and conning and grifting off of folks. That's expected. That's why I'm trying to make people understand. You cannot trust the people who are supposed to be just talking about the story, acting concerned, reaching out to the people in their inboxes to come up on the panel to talk. They don't give two fucks about these people. Seth should realize that by now, with all that has happened.
Definitely.
See, I wouldn't be able to trust random people. Seth and I are like, we're two ships in the night. He navigates different. And what I find weird about his demeanor is that he works with inmates. He should know the con. He should know the grift. He should be able to smell it. At some point, you can smell it.
Yep.
I don't care how they come in. At some point, you should smell the grift. You should smell the BS. Obviously, Seth wasn't in a place, or he ain't in that space mentally. And maybe he's this way when the child wasn't missing. See, I don't know because I don't know him. But I thought that when I first heard him talk, I said something is off. Maybe he's just this mild-mannered guy. He don't speak up for himself. He don't tell people how he really feels. So he's going to keep getting duped until he bucks up. He's going to have to buck up.
Yep. And, that's the reason I come to the conclusion that I did, Queen, about Seth wanting to be more like Chris Proudfoot in his affirmative action and behavior, if that makes sense.
Well, I wouldn't try to change who I am. But what I would do is try to learn some discernment. That's where Seth has the problem, perhaps. he doesn't have a discerning spirit. You have to be born with a discerning spirit, I think. I don't think you just wake up and say, I think I'm going to get me a discerning spirit. I feel like you have to be born with it. I've always had a discerning spirit as a young person. You see what I'm saying? I didn't get a discerning spirit 5 years ago, 2 years ago. I've always had, weird feelings, inclinations, deja vus and stuff ever since I was a kid.
Right. It doesn't hit you all at once.
So he's possibly not that guy. You understand what I'm saying? He don't pick up on stuff that he should pick up on. And then two, the flip side could be Seth knows exactly what the fuck he's doing, and he's playing a role, and he don't really want to let people know what he really thinks. Could be that too. I don't know.
It could.
So he did the interview. How do you feel about the interview? Do you feel like he was genuine in talking to Banfield?
I do. I think he's always tried to be 100% genuine in his interviews. I think that he answers some questions without really knowing himself what he's saying is 100% true, because I think he's in a place where he wants some things to be true.
Wait, slow down. He wants things. I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying he wants... I think he speaks from a place of both truth and what he wants to be fact, if that makes sense.
So basically you're saying he's in denial. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't call it denial. I'd call it he's still holding on to hope.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you believe he believes the child is out here somewhere?
I think he wants to.
He wants to. So that's what I'm trying to get you to say. Either or, girl. He wants the child, but he knows the child ain't alive.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he knows it in his heart, but he don't want to admit it.
That's all I want you to say. Okay. Because I think Seth knows this.
Yeah.
But he knows, it's like the scripture says, if you claim it, you speak it, it shall be so. So maybe he feels like if I speak it and say my child is dead, then my child probably will be dead. So he wants to hold on to hope. And like I said, he has every right to hold on because that's his child. I'm not Seth Rogers. I'm not Katie. We do believe, Katie could give two fucks. That's obvious to me. That's my opinion. So let's go to what he said. No effort, no shared goal was his words to Banfield.
Yeah.
He didn't call their names out. We're going to assume he's talking about the Proudfoots.
Yep.
That would have to be a terrible place to even have to say that on a live broadcast.
About the other parents.
Yeah, he didn't have to call their names. He didn't have to call their names, but we know that's who he's talking about. Who else could he be talking about? He can't be talking about nobody but the Proudfoots or law enforcement or both.
So why isn't Katie looking for Sebastian? Because we know that's what he meant.
I don't have to look for nothing that I intentionally lost. Why would I do that?
Exactly. Why would she not be looking for
him? How many times did you dig in the garbage can? Do you dig in the garbage can to get shit you throw away? Only if you realize, okay, I might need that back. Let me pull that back out the garbage can, rinse it off, see where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're right.
Katie Proudfoot got rid of her child to rid herself of Seth. How do you feel about that statement?
I think that's one of the factors, yes, that played into this.
Explain.
I think that there were many other factors of why this ended up happening.
Okay, but we're not gonna go with those today. Right. We're just gonna go with dealing with Seth. Yes. Rid myself of this child so I don't have to deal with Seth anymore.
Well, 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes, as my mother used to say that growing up.
2 birds with 1 stone. She would be free of Seth whenever she was free of Sebastian. I think she looked at Sebastian like a burden too, to be quite honest with you.
Well, he's the main issue because that's her child and she's raising him. Yep. So he would be her first priority and also her first burden.
Mm-hmm.
If she felt that way towards him.
But I do think she had resentment towards Seth.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that also stems from whenever they separated and he was homeless, she had the entire burden of Sebastian to herself for a while. And I think that created a newfound bitterness. And I think she probably...
So what are you trying to say? She didn't want to be bothered with Seth once he got on his feet?
she didn't want to be bothered with Sebastian, and she held resentment towards Seth whenever he got on his feet, because still, even though like it was a selfish thing for her to even want Sebastian, I don't think she ever appreciated Sebastian the way Seth did. I think she has a lot of animosity towards Seth, and I think that reflected onto Sebastian, whom she didn't want to begin with because he was autistic, and in her what I would assume thoughts on Sebastian being a burden, because there are people, and I think that she's one of those people. She's very self-motivated. What kind of mother doesn't?
SG, what are you trying to say? Seth has no reason for contact with Katie. I don't understand what you're saying.
What more reason than your child missing would you need to have contact with the other
you
parent?
got to deal with her because you have a child with her. So I'm trying to understand your comment.
And unless that child is in fact dead, why isn't the other parent reaching out to the other parent and working together and cooperating to find their child?
Because I don't have to.
Yeah.
It's just like when you divorce a person or break up with a person. If you are sound in your decision, you have no reason to call them for anything. Okay?
Unless there's a child.
I think everybody knows this. When you have moved on from a human being, you have no reason to call their phone. You have no reason to text. You have no reason to visit. You have no reason to ask about them. Especially if it did not end well. You have moved on. So, if you have unalived a human, you're not going to be talking about the human. You're not going to be crying over the human. You're not going to be missing the human.
Yep.
Especially if it's an orchestrated crime, a deliberate homicide.
Yep.
I'm not going to be talking about you. I'm only going to talk about you when asked about you, such as with law enforcement or my sister, my cousin, my auntie, and they bring up the child. So I now have no choice but to talk about the child. But if it was left up to me, I wouldn't be talking about the child. I don't want to talk about the child. You want to talk about the child.
You think that would be a time, for there to be communication between two people that had no other reason to talk was whenever their child was missing.
She checked out. That's what leads me to believe she was already checked out when she had Sebastian. See?
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, she's been checked out. That's what people don't seem to understand. They want to keep going on and on about, if they did it, didn't do it. The woman has been checked out. That's why you don't see no emotion with her talking on these YouTube channels. She's been gone. Damn, what can't nobody see about that?
She was checked out before she left her family and went into the military. That's why she left them. She was checked out.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that's why she joined the military, was to get the fuck away. Because I'm tired of hearing about that medical insurance shit. That y'all are running that shit in the ground.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Not only that, but if you'll think about it, where did she meet Chris Proudfoot? In the military. She met Chris with her escape from Seth and Sebastian. And she idolized that relationship, and she chose that relationship over her child and her marriage. And then she played shady games and accusations and this, that, or the other, and fought for Sebastian, not because she wanted him, but because she didn't want Seth to have him. And then, Lord and behold, Chris Proudfoot is with Katie Proudfoot, and now we have Nina being Chris's ex. And what does Nina have? Faith. And because Nina has it, Katie Proudfoot doesn't want Nina to have it either. Because that's a normal child.
Let's go to my community page and read the polls.
Okay.
Pertaining to all of that nonsense. I'm very disgusted with that as well, pertaining to faith. Because I don't understand what judge would think this was okay to have this child here. It's BS. Because what if something happens to her? Then what? 4-month mark approaching and no new info on Sebastian Rogers. 3 comments. Quinny says, I thought this would be a case where he would have been found after 2 days tops. I saw it as a simple runaway. It breaks my heart. I was wrong. Mary Francis says, it's turning out like Summer Wells. Solo nonsense. Not surprising to me, but I'm still waiting on LE. Well, interesting. Seth Rogers feels there's no joint effort to find Sebastian. Is it time for him to accept that the Proudfoots never care for child? And the reason they refuse to help and speak to him is because they know where Seth is. 71 votes. 86% says yes. No, 14%. Obviously, the Proudfoots and the judge could give 2 Fs about the feelings of girl Faith. 2 comments. Tennessee Nurse says, I try to stay off these pages and keep my mouth shut for many reasons, but the photo of KP and Faith has pissed me the hell off. Their plan worked perfectly. KP and CP are exactly where they wanted to be at this date and time and doing exactly what they wanted. This was all 100% about them getting Faith. We need to be knocking the doors down at CPS in both New Mexico and Tennessee. Seth and Nina are in shambles. CP and KP's world is perfect and complete. How the hell can these people have any type of access to a child? Not only do they have a track record, but a child witnessing under their care. Evil is winning, and this is insane. Solon says, I've been busy, but I did hear in your live CP was her. I was like, what the F? It's like, what? I've been busy, but I did hear in your live CP was her. What is she talking about? I don't understand. Let me respond. Because that comment don't make no sense. So that's something I haven't really dwelled on. Did they get rid of the child to get Faith instead? So that means a mother would part with her child to get another child as an even swap. My thing is, if I want to be free of a 15-year-old, I definitely don't want an 8 or 9-year-old. For what? 8 or 9-year-old, you got to spend more time on an 8 or 9-year-old versus a 15-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
that's more work.
Yeah. I mean, you do still have certain things.
You got to still take care of the child. The child can't take care of herself. So I don't know how that would be an even swap. Get rid of my son in exchange to get this kid that you're only supposed to get for the summer. What's the point? You still got to send her back.
You know, I think it's a pride thing. I think it's a proud thing. I think that they can show Faith off, but they couldn't show Sebastian off, if that makes sense.
See, that's why I said it could be a combination of God knows what. Let's see what other questions I have on here. Let's see. It's all about Rex Heuerman. Let's see. One day ago, imagine one of the Proudfoots, both unalive, Seb, and now Faith is slumming with a child killer. As I said in tonight's live, Nina has to be seething inside, knowing her child is here in Tennessee, out of sight, and there's nothing she can do about it. 5 people responded. I wouldn't hide my child. No, excuse me. Akira says, I would hide my child and go to jail before I handed my child over in such a dangerous situation. I replied, girl, I was thinking the same. Yep. Nina should have bolted when Chris hit her kids, but definitely after Faith came and their relationship didn't work. Bye, Tito. Running emoji. Tonic says, I know I'd be going out of my mind if I was Nina. I replied, yes, Lord. I still don't understand why she didn't divorce Chris on her reservation. Mary Frances says, scary. Commenter's choice. Did Katie Proudfoot get rid of Sebastian because she wanted to be done with Seth? 21% says yes. 35% of you all said no. 44% of you said not sure. Feel free to go over and take the poll on my community page. Should the judge be reprimanded, removed from the bench for allowing Proudfoot's visitation with Faith? 76% yes, 16% no, 8% not sure. 213 votes, 18 people. Woo, Lord. Somebody says, okay, you forgetting the CPS calls and investigations against CP. Then somebody says no, because there's no proof of a crime committed by the Proudfoots, unfortunately. I replied, if the judge properly investigated, I spelled it wrong, if investigated latest events here on YouTube, Facebook and CPS reports against the Proudfoots, against Sebastian, these are grounds enough for no visitation. Then somebody goes back again. No evidence of a crime, so why would a judge say no? 10 replies. The last person to see Sebastian was Katie, says BS 2237. No child should be in her care. Last thing we need is another child to go missing. I agree with that. Andy replies back. Doesn't mean he didn't leave on his own. Get evidence before accusing or blaming a parent. Kathy replies, would you leave your kids with them? I think not. I reply, teen times 3. Thank you, 100. Then I have a blowing your head up emoji. Then I replied, he wouldn't. Then I replied again, if you can't see why, obvious reasons, CPS reports, plus YouTube garbage by Proudfoots, Faith does not need to be at their home and judge looked into, then you have a serious brain defect. Andy replies to the Queen. If CPS reports were credible, Sebastian would be taken out of home, plus CPS reports were on all 3 parents. Don't forget about that. I replied to Andy, we don't have proof of what is credible. Majority of missing kids found murdered had CPS cases that were unfounded of abuse. You obviously know these people because you're riding high on heathens who've shown they've never cared for Seth by berating him on YouTube. Please stop commenting because it is ignorance at this point. BS replies to me, well said, Queen. Anyone who takes up for the Proudfoots, I hate to see their parenting.
Yeah, no kidding. But you got to think most of these people, and especially if you look at it, Queen, even the YouTubers that are talking in favor of the Proudfoots don't have children or don't have of their children.
Well, that's because, hey, you lead by example. Should the judge have given the Proudfoot summer visitation of faith? Yes, 12%. 85% says no. 3% not sure. Woo, I got 264 votes on this poll. Edwina says, I'm surprised they did with 2 CPS reports. Kathy says, hell no. Christy says, hell no. Not when they literally have a whole child missing around their custody and from their house. Absolutely not. No way. Donna says, yes. I replied to her, tell me why they deserve any rights to faith. She never replied back. Wow.
I guess the judge has given them the right to lose another child.
And that would be a shame, would it not?
Yeah, it would. Absolutely. If it does happen, Nina, girl, I got your back. I will help you find a lawyer to take it on pro bono, honey. If anything happens to Faith, they're done. The judge is done.
I just don't understand which jurisdiction thought it was okay to allow the child to come here. I don't get it. After all this played out on YouTube, she had to mention these things in court. I don't understand.
No proof. No proof, Queen, that Sebastian walked out of that house. Period. End of story.
But the police have already told us that.
Yep.
They told us that a month or so ago. So if you don't want to believe the police, then I don't know what else to tell you. You know damn well those people in that neighborhood have cameras on their houses and doorbell cameras.
Yep. And just because they don't have proof that Katie did anything to Sebastian doesn't mean that there won't be something found out, because what's in the darkness always comes to the light. It really does. Eventually, it's going to come to light.
Yes, cornbread.
Some way.
History repeats itself. Exactly.
Yep.
Most reports of children who are abused, we have seen this time and time again. There was no evidence of abuse. And then poof, the child goes missing and then later found dead.
Yep.
We have seen this 1,001 times. You can go to YouTube Q right now and pull up a video of a child missing, a child found dead. First thing you're going to hear, CPS reports, and they won't tell you what the fuck's in them.
Look at Quentin Simon case. Look at what happened there. Look how DHS let him down. Grandma got custody of the kids because mom was found to be unfit and abusive. So what does grandma do? Mom moves mom right in the house with the children she lost custody of for abuse. The system is a joke. The system is a joke.
Yeah, because every child situation is not the same. Just because you see nice furniture, a nice house, a bed, that does not mean the child is not abused. There are all types of ways of abusing a child.
All types of ways.
All types of ways.
And it's the people, honestly, that are usually the most wealthy that don't say anything, to be quite honest. That's the reason you don't hear about it for years and years later.
And these people have gotten their children back. That case in Louisiana, the black lady that had the boy and the girl tied up in the laundry room in Texas, they escaped out that house to go get help. They were malnourished. Nobody had seen those kids in a while. And she already had kids taken from her and given back to her. So this is why I always say you can't say what the state will and won't do, because there's times when the state will give people their children back. And they've abused their fucking kids.
People don't understand what the legal system actually is. The legal system is not whether or not you are guilty. It is whether or not they can make other people convinced that you are guilty or not guilty. It does not matter. And this is the common misconception that leads so many people into legal issues to start with, and other issues and areas with their life whenever it comes to this, and making assumptions and decisions about other people. The law is not based on whether or not you are guilty. The law is based on whether or not you can convince someone else of your innocence or guilt.
Well, that's why I say it's innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Because I've told people 1,000 times, I have spoken with a social worker here, and she's told me we do not necessarily move children out of a house because the house is unkempt. Because I was talking to her about the Summer Wells case a while back, and she told me, well, you all are looking at the house as a dilapidated house. You're looking at the property, but that is not why we would remove the children out. And so even with the Wells case, the boys still were there for 6 whole weeks. So still that was fucked up to me. But that goes back to maybe what the social worker said to me. Just because you're looking at the property and we look at the property and we may say, well, I wouldn't live here, I wouldn't have a child here. That don't mean we would automatically remove the children out from the property.
Yeah.
They probably have to see severe abuse, like, black eyes, burn marks.
Bruises, burn marks.
We'll take the children out.
Yep. And then there are people that lose their children to the system that didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it really swings both ways. It does.
I agree, Jackie. Sebastian being missed and having a daughter visit was unwise, inappropriate, and not in the child's best interest, in my opinion. I totally agree.
At all.
I would have never let the child go there. It's too far for one. Okay? It's too fucking far.
It's amazing how quickly Katie Proudfoot is so willing to exert her attention and dote on Faith, but she won't even look for her missing child. It's amazing. Is it not? Faith has been there, 2 weeks, and she's already getting the Sebastian last day treatment. Going out for ice cream.
Oh, girl, stop, please. Katie, I don't think Katie cooks.
Yeah.
I don't think Katie cooks. So Faith will probably be at least 15, 20 pounds bigger when she gets back to New Mexico. She'll be eating a lot of popcorn and Skittles.
A lot of snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said in the other live, Nina will probably have to take it to the dentist. Probably have a lot of cavities.
Yep.
Katie will probably have Skittles and hot tamales under her pillowcase.
Yeah.
Dear God, what a hot mess. Where do you see it going now? We're approaching month 4. Let's see what time it is. Almost, well, it's after 12, so it's the 21st of June.
I think it's going to take them. I think it's going to take them about a year before they even name Chris and Katie as suspects. And I don't think it's going to lead to an arrest then, because I think that the Proudfoots plan this out.
That's the point of it. I'll be born.
Yep.
Yes, the system is messed up when it comes to children.
Absolutely.
Because like you just said, it's what you can prove.
Yep.
If the house is clean and nice, there's no bruising on the kids, you don't have no proof to nothing. Somebody going to have to bring forward an audio of a video.
55 children go missing here in America every day in foster care. Yeah, the system's broken. Yeah, and it's about what you can prove. And they classify most of these kids as runaways from the foster care system when in fact they're really not.
It's just a terrible situation because, I look at the fact that, although he was autistic, he still, was a bigger child, but obviously he didn't have the fortitude to leave the house, go out if they don't have proof that he ever ran away and got mad. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't know what to think. But if you go by what the police say, then you just take it with a grain of salt. We don't have anything to show the boy exit. Okay, now you got this little girl living in there. It's just all wrong for her to even be in this house. Because just imagine what she's thinking. Now, we're going to role play again. For those of you who don't really care about what Sebastian was going through. Now imagine Faith. You don't know what Nina has told her. You don't know what she's heard in Nina's conversations. You don't know what she heard on her drive or flight back here to Tennessee. You don't know what she's hearing in the house. All this fucking jumping on live streams, and Faith has been at the house. Now you see where I'm going?
Yep.
There's no regard for the children.
And you know what else is a scary thought? What if Faith overhears something she's not supposed to?
She probably has already.
Yep. It's endangering that poor little girl. It really is. And all of us should be outraged.
I said, they've been on a live stream. If they've been on somebody else's live stream 2 weeks ago, Faith would have been here. Well, where was Faith at while you're fucking YouTube hopping?
Yep.
Talking about going on these people panels. Well, where was Faith? Outside? Let me guess. She was outside with a flashlight walking around in the dark.
Mm-hmm. With 2 flashlights, feet apart, walking around in the dark. Come on, get it right.
Never seen people so obsessed with YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go on the panel. Fucking house on fire. You're sitting there talking about a YouTuber.
So they could brag about what wonderful parents they were while their child was missing. Yep.
Never heard of such ignorance.
Ridiculousness. Absolutely. But then again, Queen, that would bring any sane person to the conclusion that the child is not missing to the Proudfoots at all. That's why they're not concerned with finding him.
I don't believe he's missing.
They know exactly where he is. That's why they're not looking for him. They don't want to draw any more attention to Sebastian's case. That's why they're not working with Seth. Think about it reasonably. If you love your child and they are somewhere out in this world and you don't know what happened to them, and you think they walked out of the house and someone has obviously abducted them in all reason that can be made from your cockamamie story, don't you want everyone to believe that you were a good parent? If you did something,
I don't get that they couldn't stay in the house because of death threats, but Faith can stay in the house. Exactly. So what's the difference between being threatened in February, March versus threatened now?
Right.
With a whole kid living there. Very good point, SG. Thank you.
Yes. And you got to think this is behavior that Katie Proudfoot has exhibited with wanting Faith and discrediting Nina since the beginning of the relationship when she found out about Chris's daughter with Faith. Chris's daughter, Faith, with Nina. When she went to the airport and tried working Nina up and all that business and recorded it. They scheme like this. There are reports of it prior to this. And considering there are so many reports of the Proudfoots being this way, that's alarming. There's got to be some truth to it, or else there wouldn't be all of these reports out there of them being like this and them demonstrating these same behaviors on YouTube. And so I'm sorry if you think that the Proudfoots are innocent, that's nice, but I don't. anyone that thinks that something didn't happen to that little boy in that house, and that's why there is no proof of him walking out of that house on his own, you're missing something. Go look at it again. There was a Ring doorbell on the front of that house where Chris and Katie Proudfoot said that little boy exited that home, but he's not on camera. Tell me what's really going on here. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of lies. It's a cover up.
Somebody says, what if, he comes home, he end up in foster care? Well, it'd probably be better than where he is now, living with them. That's the risk.
Yeah.
But I would assume Seth would probably be the first person they would let take the child.
And that's a big
unless they can prove that he's unfit.
It's going to be hard for Sebastian to walk through a front door he never walked out of. There's no proof he ever walked out that front door. How's he going to walk back in the door he never exited?
Akira says Sebastian's disappearance is a family affair. Nina's story attests to that, in my opinion.
Yes.
The panel is open if you would like to join me. The panel is in the chat. Hit the link and come on up and give your opinion pertaining to Seth Rogers' interview with News Nation, Katie possibly unaliving the child to be rid of Seth, kill two birds with one stone, literally, and also the dirty business of a YouTuber, this unlucky Lucky Charm, who weaseled his way into Seth Rogers' life and set him up and betrayed him over a woman by the name of Michaela. Those are the three topics at hand. Hit the link. It's a very sick situation. Somebody says she don't think he belongs with Seth. Well, Jen, hit the link. Give your opinion. Tell us why.
If I had to choose one of the parents to give Sebastian to, I would choose Seth against the Proudfoots, regardless of financial.
Now we got SG saying the same thing. Gone 12 hours a night, he'd be awful. Well, obviously he's left the child alone if he worked nights. I've mentioned this before in live. If he worked nights, that means he wasn't keeping the child either.
Right, but obviously...
So the child was left alone.
But with that same Stone Queen, obviously... he put the right faith in Sebastian to be able to take care of himself there at home for 12 hours because he managed it and never even went missing.
Well, Katie had them known if she had a problem, she wouldn't want her child to go stay with him, thinking that he wasn't in the shape to be alone. So it's a two-way street.
You know what, Queen? Isn't that amazing? Seth left him alone for 12 hours at a time and he never managed to go missing.
I'm just listening.
You feel me?
Listening. Yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying. So that's an interesting concept. The child's been left alone in Seth's care, and he turned out okay. But he's left alone in Katie's house or in Katie's care. He magically disappeared at 15 years of age. Very interesting. I have to take notes on that one.
Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All those times he went to Seth and was alone 12 hours at a time by himself.
Yeah.
And never walked out the front door and vanished.
Very interesting. I'd like to see if Seth's parents are decent. That's a choice. What do you mean, SG? CPS was never called on Seth. Well, because we don't have laws in Tennessee about leaving preteens alone in the house with or without other children. We don't have any stipulations here in Tennessee.
12 years old. At 12 years old, is the legal age that a child can be home alone in Tennessee, or babysit for that matter. It's also how old they are whenever they can go to court with their parents and say who they want to live with and why. The judge will take that into consideration. 12 years old is accountable in Tennessee.
Well, But just imagine if, let's say, I know this sounds so crazy what I'm about to say, but just imagine he was unalive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they thought, and then he just walks in the fucking house. You know, you've seen movies like that where people think they killed somebody and they show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about somebody needing a damn diaper.
I'm gonna need 2 of them. I'm gonna need 2 of them.
Huh?
I don't think I'm gonna be needing 2 of them because I'm gonna need a
No,
diaper.
but you understand what I'm saying. Imagine you think
Yeah.
you're gonna alive the person and then they walk in, or you get wind. They call you and say, "Hi, may I speak to Mrs. Proudfoot?" And then she
Oh,
says,
that would be.
"Yes, this is
Oh, Lord have mercy, Queen.
and I just wanted to call to let you know we found your son." And then she'll be like, "Oh, you did?" And then she starts boo-hooing and crying out like he's dead.
Oh my goodness!
Like, oh,
Or like the movie The
no, I'm
Orphan.
sorry. Your son's alive.
The movie The Orphan. Have you seen that, Queen?
Uh-huh.
The Orphan First Kill. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I see what you're picking. I'm picking up what you're laying down there. That would be wow. That would really mess with Katie's noodle for the rest of her life, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Call her and tell her we found your son. We have found your son, ma'am. We're on our way to your house. And then first thing she said, on the way for what? Oh, to bring him home. Oh, okay. Wow.
You know what though, Queen? If somebody called Katie Proudfoot and said they found Sebastian, they were bringing him home, she'd probably hang up on him and say it was a prank call because she knows better.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably hang up on him and be like, "Don't call me again, prank caller."
Yeah,
because she would know. She'd know he's not coming home. That would really, yeah. Imagine that. Wow. Yep. Talk about spinning someone's noodle. Mm-mm-mm.
I've seen so many movies like that.
Oof.
I watched one like that not too long ago on Tubi. He thought he had killed his wife and he started seeing stuff around the house. Shit was crazy. Because she wasn't dead.
Right. Oh my goodness.
During an argument. And she got up and she hid out and she got his ass back. You hear me?
She said she got it back.
She got his ass back. That's probably one of the best revenge movies I've seen in a very long time. She got him. She got him back. He thought he was going crazy.
You know, there's a real case of a man that took a hit out on his wife. She went to Africa to visit with family, and he took a hit out on her. Mm-hmm. And the men ended up not killing her, but they kept the money that he had paid for the hit because they couldn't find. They asked her, why does your husband want to kill you? And she's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
And then she showed up at her own funeral. And,
yeah. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
What did she do? She wore a disguise.
No, while everyone was, at the funeral praying and whatnot, she just walked up in through the doors and was like, yeah, you're going to prison for hiring people to kill me, to her husband, and was like, you're not, get out of here, and called the cops on him.
Oh, I remember the one that did the police where they filmed that girl down in Florida. And she's doing all that hollering and screaming in the middle of the street about her husband being dead. They told her he was dead and all this stuff, and they were just pulling her leg. That just shit was crazy. She hired to have him killed. And that was a young woman. I was just like, what is so terrible in life that you got to orchestrate the murder of somebody? Why can't you just leave?
Because the money, honey. The money. Greed. The almighty dollar.
And you know what's so amazing about that? I think about that all the time with stories like this and things I see in the YouTube queue and documentaries. People get arrested for murder every day. And yet you, a stupid person, would still go out here and unalive a person for whatever reason, whether it be a hit, an orchestrated plan, an argument, whatever, and you think you're going to get away with it. That's what amazes me about human beings. Is they have to see these stories unfold every day on TV, on the news, and yet they will still go out here and unalive a person.
And try to solicit. Yeah, and try to solicit someone else as a hitman.
I just don't understand it. And everybody knows you can never hire a person to do something. Now, Some people can get away with it. Some people have gotten away with it. But I don't recommend involving anybody because that's one other person that knows what you've done.
Yep. Yep. A secret. Two can keep a secret if one of them's dead.
Exactly. Exactly. But we can't keep a secret if two of us know about the homicide.
Yep.
Because somebody can always double back and say, well, I need some money. I need this. And let's say you use that person as the helper, as the orchestra, as the killer. Then what if you had that person naturally discard the weapon? Well, they could keep the weapon for collateral. Leverage.
Yep.
They'll hold that over your head until you literally are broke and have nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could actually pay them $20,000, $50,000, whatever the amount is from insurance, okay? You pay that son of a something, and I'll be damned, they're going to blow that money, and they're going to be back at your doorstep talking about, well, I need some more money for that little favor I did you. And then you say, well, excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about, because you know they could have a wire on, so you're not supposed to admit to it. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I got a question for you.
Who?
What do you think for you? I want to see your take on it. Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
You know what, Regina? You always love asking questions. I don't know why that is.
I respect your opinion.
I appreciate that. Okay, go ahead. Look, shoot your shot.
Why do you think? What do you think Chris Proudfoot is getting out of protecting Katie? Because you know at this point he knows. Like, unless he is honestly just brain dead, he knows.
No, he's too cocky. He's too cocky to be brain dead.
He's getting out of it?
He's too cocky. He's getting what he's always gotten, his way.
His way.
His way. He's too arrogant not to know. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's too arrogant not to know. Yeah. He's to me, he's another Don Wells. He's the orchestrator. He's the mouthpiece. And you always, and that's an old saying, you know, beware of the messenger. Exactly. How are you the messenger, but you weren't there? Same thing with Don Wells. You were allegedly 40 minutes away, but you've been the messenger day one. If you go back in the YouTube queue right now and go watch any profiler like Pat Brown, any of these psychologists, that is one of the things that they're going to say in their commentary. Why is Don Wells doing all the talking and he was not there? Now, fast forward 3 years, almost 3 years, Middle Tennessee. Why is Mr. Proudfoot the talker, but he was 3 hours plus away, almost 4 hours away? Really,
because he's a man that
you should have nothing to say. Huh?
Because he's a man that protects his wife. He said that.
But what I'm saying is, if you're not there, you really don't have anything to be saying you weren't there. That's just like right now. If you call me to tell me your husband died, what do I look like doing all the talking on the news?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. You should have nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, you're right.
All I should be doing is standing up there with you, patting your shoulder.
Yep. Because you weren't there. If you weren't there, there's nothing for you to tell. It's not even your story if you weren't there. It's hearsay.
Oh. Akira says he would not protect Katie unless he's involved. Otherwise, he'd throw her under the bus, in my opinion. What do you think?
Bingo.
So you believe he knows he was in on the crime?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think that's what that phone call was about. Yep, absolutely.
Somebody says she did what he wanted. Well, we don't really know who did what.
You can't convince a mother that doesn't want to kill her child.
Exactly. Thank you. It's not even really about Christopher, because you can't be that weak-minded. You would kill your child because your husband is having issues with your child. Then you leave your husband. Or you send your child to the father. It's not like he doesn't have a father. So what's the purpose of killing the child? To please Christopher.
Yep.
Just think about that for a second now. You love your husband more than your son. Well, send him over to Seth. What's the problem? Because think about it. Then why the fuck are we here? Why are we here if it's all about pleasing Mr. Proudfoot?
But you got to think about it, Queen. Seth going and living with Sebastian, means that Seth won. That would give him a small victory. And I don't think that either of the Proudfoots are capable of letting anyone else have any sort of victory.
Well, we see that behavior with Christopher and the Nina debacle over Faith.
Yes.
He has an ego. He has to be right. Yes, he has to win. So I can see that playing out with this child as well. And the one thing people don't seem to understand, even with the boy going to Seth, she's still expected to engage with the child. Yep. If I want to check all the way out, I want him all the way gone.
Gone.
So there is no getting him on the weekends, getting him on Christmas. No, I want him gone. I don't want to be obligated, period. Because the one thing everybody seems to forget, if he's autistic on a level where he needs to be taken care of after 18, Katie still is obligated to that child, whether he lives with Seth or not.
Exactly. Yep. I also think Katie knew if her son Sebastian is anything like my son Adrian, she had to have known that there was a good likelihood that even though he can take care of himself overnight, if need be or something like that, that he would always either need to live close to me or with me, my own son. And you got to think having an autistic child like that is not going to be able to go out in the world and become part of the force like other people are. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be that tie, that burden, that hold down in some of their minds.
And then you look at the fact, look what she did as soon as he went missing, a month later or so. I already packed up a camper and had a whole fucking job. Who does that?
Like Liliani Simon, out partying.
You understand what I'm saying? Yep. You packed up and left the whole fucking demographic.
Yep.
And got a whole child missing. If a person can't see through that, your ass needs therapy.
Didn't even give anyone a chance to search for him before she left.
You just up and go live in a camper. And when Nancy Grace asked her, what was her answer? I would be with my husband. But Nancy let her know, and so what? Your husband working. What you doing? She couldn't have. There's no logical answer to go down to Memphis. There was no logical answer to carry her ass down there. Your husband is on a job working 8-10 hours. You ain't doing nothing but sitting in a camper. That's the same damn shit you could have done up here in Hendersonville. It's bullshit.
Let me tell you what I think happened there, Queen. I think that Chris Proudfoot was working on wife number 6 and Katie knew about it.
Well, could be lots. Let me tell you something. I want that there's a whole lot of shit going on with both of them that we don't know nothing about.
Yep.
There's probably a whole lot of shit going on with all of them.
Yep.
Affairs, but think about it, Queen. Drinking, drugs, all type of crazy nonsense.
You're already having marital problems with your prized husband, right? Right? You're already having problems with him over your child. And this man is working in Memphis for a month at a time because this child has done made claims against him, right? And he's up and left the house, gone for a month at a time. Men get lonely when they're gone that long. Think about what would Katie do if she were to find out that Chris were maybe, and this is all speculation.
Bear, but please call her a Katie bot. Oh my God, I'm dead.
Yeah. What if Katie found out Chris was talking to someone else in Memphis? Well, there's another reason to want to get Sebastian gone even quicker, right?
What, to watch my husband?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't thought about that.
Yep. There's so many different motives.
And I've said that before. Exactly. There are a lot of motives to get rid of the boy child.
So many. Too many motives.
Because you have to know, definitely have to know Katie Proudfoot. That's the point. You have to know her. You have to know Christopher. But what we've seen play out on YouTube, it's not good and they haven't shown favor to the child. That's enough for me. I don't really have to know the motive or why he was unalive. I just believe he's not here. And that's how I feel about it.
I agree. I agree, Queen. I no longer think he's
Because the
with
motive is
Sebastian.
never going to make any sense anyway. Because there's no logical reason to unalive a 15-year-old child, whether he's autistic or not. You chose to do it because you felt like it. There are many options you could have chosen if you just no longer wanted to take care of him. So that means there was a serious reason in your head to unalive the child and not hand him over to somebody else, such as his father, a group home. That's why I know he's not alive, see.
Yep.
He's not hiding anywhere. Nobody has him hidden anywhere. I don't believe that shit.
No. This is not.
This ain't nobody hiding him out. Who's going to hide him out? They're going to get tired of taking care of him. They can't go nowhere. They got to what? Leave him in the house alone to what? He rots away? This is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Katie didn't pay attention to Sebastian and get his needs met with his development.
Misty, wonderful snacks in prison. Girl,
with his development for his autism. Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't
they
take
got
care
snacks
of him. She
out
never
right.
wanted him.
You got to have commissary to get the snacks.
In my opinion.
So you got to have money on the books. Ain't no Doritos with your lunch every day. Somebody got to send you money.
I think that Sebastian was a means for Katie to get out of a bad living situation at her mother's. And I think she used Seth to get out of that situation. And then she didn't like the situation she was in with Sebastian, him being an autistic child. So she joined the military. She met Chris. She got out of her situation with Seth and still had part of the situation with Seth left over from Sebastian. And I think that's why he is no longer with us. And her wanting to maintain that perfect marriage she considered so wonderful with Chris Proudfoot. Mr. What's the word?
Let me tell you something. If I was Nina, I'd go somewhere and change my fucking name. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'd go find an underground group to help me disappear with my fucking kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would run.
I'd been done that. She could have went anywhere in the United States. He would have moved on. Christopher would have moved on.
Think about it. If they're so good at getting rid of disappointments in their lives, like Seth and Sebastian and Chris's marriage to every other wife except Katie Proudfoot, I mean, think about it. If they're so good about getting rid of people in their past and holding a grudge against them.
Well, she probably did.
Yeah.
She probably saw it as a meal ticket. He's probably the best life she's got. I mean, I've looked at the drive on the neighborhood on a video. It's a decent looking neighborhood. It's, you know, they're living better than a lot of people. So,
but if people
she's came up.
If Chris and Katie are so ready to move on from every disappointment in their life and cut all ties with it, what's going to happen to Faith whenever she disappoints them? Because she is human. At some point, she's going to disappoint them. What's going to happen to her? What are they going to do to that poor girl mentally? I mean, it's
she gets to a certain age, she can tell the judge she don't want to go back.
Yep. But you know what the Proudfoots are going to have that Nina doesn't? That cushy lifestyle, that, you know, the financial aspects. They're going to play Faith financially for affection.
Y'all,
and
you
I
are
don't think they could do that with Sebastian.
God, please stop it, everybody in the chat. You're killing me. The snacks. I can't. Oh, yes, Jackie. What a mess. Exactly. What a fine mess. I really did feel sorry for him listening to him speak to Banfield. You could tell he's messed up.
He's hurting. Yes.
He's jacked up.
I still stand true to this, no matter what kind of bad decisions Queen Seth has made on YouTube and with the people he's trusted, no matter what. I honestly and truly believe with all my heart that he had absolutely nothing to do with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers going missing, and he just wants to find his son. I really believe him there.
Because it's almost, and it's not to be mean, but it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's more creepy when he says, "Are you there? Can you get away?" You know, by now the child would have said something to somebody, got out of the house, tried to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would be fighting tooth and nail to be in somebody's house. He don't want to be there. He don't know the people.
Yeah.
Wow. CP wants control over Nina by taking Faith. CP parents want Faith. CP family have money, will win in court, and can afford to find Nina. Nina wouldn't be able to hide. Oh, you can hide, SG. Trust me. There are people who can hide you, honey. If you go on the witness protection program, get a new social security number, birth certificate, you can hide. Yep. There are people who work in underground groups to hide you. People go underground all the time. You just don't know about it. You can be hidden. You've got to keep your mouth closed is the problem.
Yep.
And we live in a world now that's filled with social media.
Yep.
A lot of people couldn't hide now because they're too addicted to apps.
Yep.
They wouldn't be able to stay off a fucking app. But if it's about your child, you could stay hidden. But he would go to every news outlet and say, oh, she took my kid, and they'd have their pictures everywhere. It'd be a hot mess.
Yeah, but you know what? In this case, no one would report it if they knew where Faith was because nobody wants
Well, if they stayed on the reservation, they probably could hide her easier.
Yeah, actually they could, yeah.
Yeah, on the reservation. She could go to another reservation in another state, and they would hide her out. Nobody would know because I wouldn't tell anybody where she came from and none of that. Nobody has to know. Frankly, it's a terrible way to even have to live in the first damn place, and it's cruel to a child. Children, she has other children, so that'd be cruel. You got to teach those kids to keep their mouth closed. You got to teach them not to say their own name. That would be a problem.
Yeah.
But see, all this could have been avoided had Nina left him alone when he hit her kids. This is before Faith was ever born. So see, she had ample enough time to get out the relationship with him. But she's like a lot of women. She was wanting to fix it. She's wanting him to change. We have to tell ourselves when it doesn't look right, run like hell.
Hell. Yep.
And she didn't do that. So all that grief, she caused all that grief herself by holding on to Christopher. And then he lured her down here to Tennessee and set her ass up. She's lucky even she was able to get her kid back. Because I would have been scared shitless. Going to that door, they tell me they're going to give me my baby. Baby, we getting ready to tear this motherfucking door down. We getting ready to fight up in here. You hear me? You're going to have to kill me with my child.
Yep.
Because I would have, oh my goodness, it couldn't have been me.
I couldn't have done it. I could not have sent my child to that household after Sebastian went missing. There's no part of me that would have been able to. Like, I would have fought that tooth and nail, like, to the death for my child. I couldn't.
That's why I wonder why she held on to him in the first place. Because he wasn't offering her anything. He just wasn't. You know, we're talking about going way back, way back. There was nothing there. When there was no faith, there was nothing there. He was just a big lump of clay. Abusive lump of clay. Yep. And now it's a repeat with Sebastian. Don't you all see? There's a pattern. He don't like kids.
Nope.
He does not like children.
At all. Katie is the one that wants the perfect picture, you guys. Katie is the reason Chris even tried getting Faith. Think about it.
Jen, a great point. Because I was thinking the same thing the other day. When I saw the fucking picture on that guy's channel, I said, wait. Please tell me this little girl did not make it here. I'd be thinking that wouldn't get her back either. After what I went through with them before, hell no, I don't send my baby down here. No, my baby not coming down there. If I had to make up something, say my baby got COVID, I'd make up some shit.
It just blows my mind.
My baby's sick. My baby is sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, she can't come. She ain't feeling good. Got a fever. No. And then how'd they get her here? Put on an airplane? And he's not spending any time with her because he's down in Memphis. So what am I supposed to believe? They went back and stayed in the camper with a little bitty kid? Come on.
Wow.
Ain't nobody thought about that. She's just numb. She's bare. I bet you if the walls could talk, the walls would cry. You know what I'm saying?
You know what though? How must it be for Chris Proudfoot if he is in Memphis away from Katie and Faith being alone together? If she can do that to her own child, what makes Chris Proudfoot think she couldn't do that to Katie if she found something unwanted or disappointing in Katie? Think about that, Chris Proudfoot, if you're listening. Think about that. You really want that woman alone with your daughter? Or do you even care about your own daughter?
Cornbread is crazy. Yeah, this is a Lifetime movie, most definitely. Netflix, Hulu, all of them will be rich by the time all the documentaries get a hold of them.
Yep.
Because everybody will want a piece of this story at some point.
Do you think he'll ever be found, Queen?
I don't know. When I was thinking about that Bones, when they were doing that Memphis story, I need to play that so people can.
Yeah, but I already knew that there used to be a cemetery there.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw her talking about it, the little lady, the historian, I said, this is probably an old bone.
Yeah. But I already knew about that cemetery. My brother actually had to get treatment there whenever he was
jump on anything they hear.
Yep.
Because they just don't have nothing else to focus on. So as soon as they hear something about some bones found, they thought, oh my God, it's him. And they don't even know there was a cemetery right next door.
Right there. Yeah.
They even told you they moved the bodies from the old cemetery over somewhere else.
Yeah.
So as that lady said, there's chances that bones were left behind when they went and dug up, the ground.
Exactly.
But you know how crazy people are.
Not only that, but a good EMT is going to be able to look at it and tell you whether or not it's a fresh bone, or an old bone. There's telltale signs.
Well, his bones are gonna look kind of fresh.
Yeah, they're gonna look kind of fresh.
They're not gonna be brittle, because old bones, they're gonna crumble.
Yep.
They like sand.
Yeah, they start. Even though our calcium does, it causes bones to calcify and basically petrify. Still yet, like you can tell levels of decomposition in the amount of marrow left in them and stuff like that. I mean, it's basic science. Everything decomposes at certain rates for the most part, and you can tell
what I did with the story. Hold on a minute.
Just by looking at it.
I watched so much stuff this morning. I can't believe I was up doing lives this early. Oh my God. I was exhausted.
Yeah. What did you think about the Arkansas fugitive situation?
I haven't heard.
What?
Mm-mm.
Girlfriend? Well, there's a guy that evidently had a very lengthy felonious criminal history with robbing people and weapons, went on a murdering spree, killed someone, a AA person, a sponsor in Alabama, I think it was 63-year-old man, and then fled to Oklahoma, and he killed another person in a carjacking, and then he killed another couple in another carjacking.
I might have passed it. I just didn't open all that up.
Yeah, sorry.
So that sounds like a lot of.
Well, he was loose, right? But he was loose in Arkansas. Yeah, and he was loose in the town of my best friend Sammy G.
The one he broke out of prison?
No, he wasn't. He didn't break out of prison. He was out on parole.
Well, somebody broke out of prison. One of the stories I saw was a guy broke out of prison.
Well, he was a fugitive, but he didn't break out of prison. This guy.
Oh, okay.
Stacey Lee Drake. My best friend Sammy lives in Morrilton, where this guy was hiding in the woods in a tent, and he had left the truck from the second homicides in the parking lot, the Motel 6 there in Morrilton. And this morning, while they were manhunting him, Sammy's crazy butt is over there driving around, and he was in the area the whole time, and she was out looking around, driving around looking for him. But the police presence was massive. massive. But they didn't find him until they reported on finding him at 10 o'clock this morning or yesterday morning.
Uh-huh.
It was a pretty big, crazy thing. And so yeah, he's wanted for homicides. Four deaths. 4 deaths.
Good God.
Yep. And fled to Arkansas. It was craziness. Craziness.
Let me see. I could do it better when I look at it on my phone. Let's see. Phones found. What is the deal? Okay, hold on. So let's see. Found. I have to do Memphis. Good grief. I'm gonna have to look on my phone. I can search better that way. Well, 2 hours and 21 minutes into this live stream. Just a sad. I hate
Sad
to hear
situation.
any other story about a kid, because this is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. I agree. Kids don't just vanish without a trace, you guys. And they deserve justice. I hope justice is found in this case, and I hope that Sebastian is found in this case. But yeah, at this point, I don't think he's alive, Queen. The odds of it are so slim that only a fool would bet on them.
Okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to play something right quick. This is Action News 5, 1 day ago.
The discovery of a bone on a St. Jude parking garage construction site has prompted an investigation by the Shelby County Medical Examiner and Memphis Police. So, Joe, they're trying to determine if the remains uncovered are human or not, right?
Exactly, Joy. A Memphis archaeologist told us today that the remains found are most likely human, as this property is where one of the city's first cemeteries was located and was known as the Winchester New Burying Ground, dating all the way back to 1828. In fact, there's a historical marker right there on the site telling the story of these acres near the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital campus. Yep. The flags mark the spot where the bone was uncovered near Lane Street and St. Jude Place. St. Jude says it has hired an archaeologist to monitor crews excavating this area for a new parking garage. The team followed proper procedures once that bone was uncovered and contacted the Shelby County Medical Examiner and Memphis Police to determine the next steps.
If it is a human bone, there is a process that they will go through to determine and start the plan for the excavation to be respectful of the remains that are there. It's all laid out very clearly in the law.
So St. Jude says the city had built a facility over the cemetery back in 1933. It first used the site for stables, then a garage that housed fuel tanks and heavy equipment vehicles. Alsac St. Jude says it has demolished 7 city buildings on this site, removed old city fuel tanks, and has done environmental remediation. Now, County Historian Jim Routher says if graves are found on this property, the remains will be removed and then reinterred in a new plot yet to be determined. We'll keep you informed as this story develops.
7 buildings have been demolished. That's a lot of buildings. So that's no telling. Let's just say it could be anybody's bones.
Anybody's.
Because people can dump a body that work on the site, and you're talking about 7 times fold plus what was there originally as an old cemetery.
Yep.
Good God Almighty. Here's another one. Play this too.
Had to be called to the construction site of St. Jude Hospital's new parking garage after crews apparently found human remains.
Under the concrete.
Fine, but there doesn't appear to be foul play here because those remains may be well over a century old. Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Billieu. He found out the remains were found in the same place where the city's first mayor was buried.
Wow.
In the 1800s, the construction site behind me and a lot of the land nearby was part of Winchester Cemetery. Marcus B. Winchester, the first mayor of Memphis, was buried in the part where construction crews are now digging. Crews are hard at work building St. Jude's new parking garage, and a pair of archaeologists are supervising. One of those archaeologists told investigators that Monday night they uncovered human remains they believe date back to the 1800s.
We forget that the past is just underneath everything we do.
That's Wayne Dowdy, the senior manager of the Memphis Public Library's history department. He showed Fox 13 documents dating back more than a century that tell the story of the Winchester Cemetery and the most famous person buried there, the first mayor of Memphis, Marcus B. Winchester.
Marcus Winchester was the son of James Winchester, who was one of the three founders of the city.
Dowdy says Winchester was sent here to turn the area into a commercial hub along the Mississippi River. He started building infrastructure and established a tax base. Along the way, he became a powerful political figure. He died in 1856 and was buried at Winchester Cemetery. But in the decades after his death, the cemetery fell into disrepair.
After the Civil War, the city is moving southward more than it is moving northward. The north end of the city essentially neglected for the most part.
Newspaper clippings from that era show tombstones in disrepair and mausoleums broken open. The part of the cemetery where Winchester was buried was turned into the city's stable. Eventually, enough citizens complained about the conditions that the city turned part of the cemetery into Winchester Park.
They supposedly were going to dig up the graves, but there's really no evidence that they did.
In the 30s, the city got rid of the stables over Winchester's grave and built a parking garage instead. In 2018, St. Jude bought the land and is planning to build a parking garage of their own, but when they tore up the decades-old concrete foundation there, they found remains that may have been laid to rest over a century ago. Those remains might not be the body of Marcus Winchester himself, but for historians like Dowdy, the situation's a reminder of the importance of preserving history, even in the face of progress.
Finding a way to honor those first leaders who did so much to set the stage for the growth of the city would be appropriate. And maybe talking about this now will lead to something positive.
In a statement, St. Jude says it's working with the proper authorities to make sure those remains are handled with care. In Memphis, Jack Billieu, Fox 13 News.
This is the part that gets me about all these creators out here that made the clickbait on this.
They don't even think before sharing the information.
Right. What in the world makes them think that they are going to find Sebastian Rogers under decades-old concrete?
Yeah, because you got to prove, first of all, you got to prove that it's got new concrete poured over. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to have it been done recently, it'd be newer concrete.
Yep.
It'd be a patch.
So why would they even be tearing it up if it was new concrete?
Yeah, somebody would have said, somebody would notice that. Oh, this don't look right. This looks newer.
Mm-hmm.
And why would this be new if this has been, that would be very suspicious.
Yeah, especially in a building complex that houses vehicles. It was a parking complex. Think about this, you guys. Because it has to meet inspections. An inspector is going to notice a brand new patch of concrete in a
anybody would.
Garage. Yeah. Yep.
But this is what happens when you jump on the bandwagon, you get too excited, and you don't think. That's why I always tell people I watch things first. I didn't run and put up a video about that St. Jude's. Because once I heard the lady say, oh, yeah, they carried bodies from the one cemetery over to another cemetery. She says those bones are probably left over from the last bunch. There was no need even talking about it.
Well, there's that thing out front of the hospital that tells you that area was a cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Well, but see, people here are not going to know that. They don't live down there. I'm not in Memphis. I wouldn't know that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But people don't think. They just get excited because they know he said he worked for St. Jude. So, let's go run make a video.
They didn't even listen to the whole story.
Well, they never do listen. No, let me tell you something. What I've learned about YouTube: nobody listens. I've had to go back and re-listen to my own live, knowing I know what I said in my own live, and somebody gonna tell me what the fuck I said, and I know what I've said.
Yep.
One video I said, if, about the motorcycle situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they rolled me down about that, everybody did end up turning on Seth. And I was like, well, these are probably the same people that worried the fuck out of me about saying he bought a motorcycle. I didn't say he bought it. I said if he bought it.
Yeah.
If he bought it, it would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
And that was from somebody else's comment that I made that video title. But nobody listens. First 20 minutes of the video, I'm saying if. That's why I tell myself these people are just, they hear what they want to hear.
They do. You're right.
Yeah, they hear what they want to hear.
Right.
How could you miss if the first 20 minutes of a video?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous to me. Well, what do you have to say? I'm going to check out of here. 2.5 hours in.
Thank you for having me, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the video you did on the woman and the men.
Oh, the download?
Yeah, the download video.
That was pretty good, was it not?
That was very good. That was very good.
Honey Queen used to have some great lives back in the day, honey. And this is when I talked about all type of things. And one of my crunkest lives to date is the one about T.I. and Tiny. We had a ball on that live stream. We were up late. I went live, and I'm telling you, it was raunchy raw. Do you hear me? And I had never laughed so hard as I laughed in that damn live stream. And those are the lives I miss. Instead of talking about true crime and all this mischief and all this crazy nonsense. And I loved it because I didn't have to worry about dealing with other YouTubers and listening to all their, stupid ass comments and what they worried about what the Queen has said over here. Those are the topics I like because they don't touch those topics. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
They don't touch those topics. All they want to do is talk about dead people and missing children and make up shit and pass lies in the live streams. When I talked about that stuff years ago, there was never no YouTube nonsense over in my chats ever. Ever.
Yep.
And that's really what I miss about my older live streams from 4 years ago or so. They were more authentic, and they to me were more real.
Yeah, doing true crime draws a dark crowd. It really does, and it's a lot of these people are dark. And
and that's what they don't realize.
They
don't really realize that. I always tell people, if you want to really see what's out there, go in the chat and read the chat after the person's gone live. You'll see how disturbed people are in just their responses in the chat. I think a lot of your hair was still on the top of your head.
It has.
Because I catch myself just in here laughing to myself and damn near getting ready to turn the computer up and phone like, who the hell is this in the chat with these fucking comments? Just some of the stuff is just so abhorrent. Yeah. You're wondering to yourself, where is this human being living? What planet are they from?
And they do not come in peace.
You can't even see the writing on the wall.
They do not come in peace. No, they do not come in peace.
And then let me tell you something. As quick as you see these crazy comments, you have to look at the fact that we are talking about a missing person. We're talking about this child's crazy ass parents and the stuff they said up here on YouTube. Those people that's commenting in the chat, they are 20 seconds from becoming a Seth, a Katie Proudfoot, and a Christopher Proudfoot, and they don't even know it. That's what nobody really is realizing about YouTube and Facebook. All this commenting, writing. What's the first thing you hear about these people when they end up dead or they're arrested? Oh, they were on YouTube. Oh, they were always commenting. Oh, they was in a Facebook group. Yeah.
Yep.
I know they were.
Yep.
I know they were. How many dead people
Letitia Staunch did it.
Idaho 4, Kaylee. She listened to Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia. The school teacher in Memphis, she listened to True Crime Podcast. She was probably listening to one when that guy kidnapped her that day on the University of Memphis campus. Which you don't need to be running in the dark with earbuds in. It's dangerous. Memphis is a dangerous city. There's no fucking way I'm going to be out here running at 3 or 4 in the morning. For what?
For what?
Hell no, I'm not running nowhere. You trying to get your run in before you go to school, start school? Well, you need to find another exercise plan. Well, she can't now because she's dead.
Yep.
You got to think. You got to think. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe to do nothing. I can honestly tell you there's days I hate to even leave out of this place because I just don't trust the people. The behavior I'm seeing of people lately is very whack and weird. The people is just, the area is great.
Not only that,
but there's just a lot of people around, even in this area. Even though this is a nice area where I live, there's still some riffraff running through, and I don't trust being around them. I've been outside 2 days straight this week, and I actually was fearful being out. And it's just like, man, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this.
Yeah, no. And the scary part is a lot of these people end up in these situations. They're nosy people. And they're so busy watching what other people are doing around them, they're not paying attention to the person that's watching them. Well, and they end up in these kind of situations.
Well,
I mean, seriously, if you're so focused on something else.
A lot of the people who chat in the chat are those people because they are very in tune to what these people got going on in the story. And I can tell you, I don't go looking for anything pertaining to Sebastian Rodgers when I shut this computer off. The only thing I'm focused on is possibly taking a shower and maybe having me a little nightcap and then go to damn bed. I'm not in tune trying to figure out what Katie Proudfoot is doing, what Christopher's doing, what Seth is doing, what that other fucking leprechaun is doing. I could care less. I'm not invested like that. And I'm never going to be invested. Because there's a point where once he said, you got to quit letting people get in your head. And he's right. See, a lot of people, they got YouTube in their head. You need to unplug that. Yeah, empty your head out. Because if you don't, you will become a YouTube story. Oh, you can believe that.
But then there are these people out here also, the Vault, that are like this whenever they're not on YouTube. They do this in their everyday lives.
I know they do this. All the busyness, the busybodiness. Always got something to say. Always looking for stuff to comment on. Always worrying about what somebody's got going on, what they're doing. I look at stuff, just like I was looking at this guy's Facebook post today, and he commented, they know more about what I got going on, but don't really know anything. And the first thing I wanted to say is, well, they know what's going on because you're always posting shit that you're angry about. So more than likely, they've gone and asked questions about whatever the fuck you last ranted about. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And maybe they've commented and went to somebody and asked something, and then those people went back, carried it on to you. But he's always posting stuff. He's always posting about something he's mad about, angry about. And I had talked to him recently, and I was like, well, it seems like you got a lot on your mind. You're upset about some stuff. And, but would you like to come vent on my channel? Oh, I have to think about it, blah, blah, blah. It's like I don't think he realizes that you're always posting shit. Every time you get mad about something, you go run to Facebook and you post what your emotions are that day. Why can't you just go walk it off? Go ride a bicycle. Go get on your motorcycle. Go, you understand what I'm saying? Go do something else. Go find some different people to be around. Go find some activities to be a part of.
Yeah. Get a hobby.
Exactly what I was thinking today. I said, this guy needs some hobbies because every time I look up, he's posting something crazy about something somebody said, something somebody did. Something somebody expect him to do, not do. And I thought, man, he's sure got a lot of shit going on. And I ain't used to seeing guys whine like this on social media. It's bizarre to me.
Messy. It's a messy man.
Yeah, and I hate to say that about him, but it just seems like, I don't want to accuse him of anything. All I'm saying is he's always ranting about something somebody has a problem with him about. He talks in limericks. I can't do anything right. There's always somebody upset with me, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, this shit goes, he does this shit 2-3 times a week. But I don't understand what's going on with him. I mean, it's none of my business, but you're popping up and I'm seeing it. So I'm just like, well, what the hell is the problem? So then I look at my own life and I tell myself, oh my God, you ain't posting none of this shit. The most stuff I post that's wacky, crazy would be this junk here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Posting the posts, posting the polls, asking you all questions. And like I said, a lot of the questions I ask are really from your own comments and things that I think about, conversations we've had in the chat. And guess what? These crazy wackos here, they get upset because of a poll. Some crazy bitch talking about, I'm unsubscribing because of the polls. This is my channel. I will post 50 fucking questions back to back if I want to. YouTube allows 25 posts a day. You hear me? So what do you care? Oh, was I keeping you up from your slumber because I kept posting and you get notifications? Well, carry your ass to sleep.
Oh
See, that's what people don't understand about YouTube. Did it ever occur to the people in the chat that every time you make a comment, I get a notification? Okay?
Uh-huh.
I have my notifications on. It is still my choice to read the damn notifications.
Yeah.
Okay?
And you can always mute your phone.
Okay, but that's the point I'm trying to make. If you're getting upset because I'm posting to my channel that I built, then turn off your notifications.
Lord have mercy, Queen.
And
They
why
would
would you tell
crazy.
me I'm unsubbing because of all these ridiculous posts? Well, take your thumb and stick it up your ass. I don't care.
Queen. They would go crazy. If
I
they were
don't give a
creators.
fuck. This is my channel.
Go crazy if they were creators.
I'm sorry. You all like watching those boring channels that beat a subject to death. You know, just beat it with a whip, beat it with a whip. I have a very diverse channel. That's why a lot of people like watching the channel, because they don't know what they're going to get over here. They're not going to get just you talking about some kid missing and their stupid ass parents arguing back and forth. You might get a movie suggestion. I bring you things on decorating. I bring you things on organizational skills. I recommend all types of things on this channel. Other YouTubers do not do this. They talk about true crime. That's all they talk about. Don't talk about nothing else. I am not a true crime channel.
Oh my
I just have more content about true crime.
How can you do true crime and not take a break from it and have like a group?
Because you're crazy as fuck.
Man.
You know how peaceful it was these past couple of days? Not going live, not talking about that case, not talking about Rex Heuermann, not talking about none of that. That's why I'm so backed up now, because you go a couple of days, you don't talk about stuff. It takes forever to get back on board, because it's always something going on with those fucking Proudfoots and what Seth said and what Tony said. I still don't make videos on Tony Mathis. I don't want to. I don't want to be making live streams every day about this stupid nonsense, because it's bullshit.
Yep.
It's just bullshit.
Yep.
And everybody just runs out of breath. Let me tell you what she said. Let me tell you what he did. I'm like, don't you see what you're doing? You're feeding into this nonsense with these psychopaths out here. These people don't have a life.
Feeding the beast. Feeding the beast.
Yeah, you're feeding the beast. It's bad enough the child's missing. Then the parents are at odds. Then you've got these old psychopaths that are joining in, acting like they care, wanting to help. They're crazy. Yep. Then you got the people in the chat. They're losing their minds because of what was said in the live stream and going crazy. It's just a bunch of just cackling ass hens.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
I do believe to a degree. Hold on a second.
It's too much. Yeah, I have to talk about TikTok, Tony.
I do.
Let somebody else talk about it.
If we're gonna consider ourselves as true crime creators, like with me, I do believe to a degree it is somewhat our duty to our viewers to cover the story. But at the same time,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Them snappers? What are you talking about?
But at the same time, I also believe that these people have told us everything that they can tell us. And there's a point whenever you're quit covering the true crime and are only covering drama. You know what I'm saying? If I want drama, I'll go watch the Hallmark Channel or 90210 or something drama pertaining. I mean, there is a lot of drama in true crime, but I think whenever you're only looking for the drama in
It's
it,
loud.
and whenever you quit helping anything in the situation and you're only adding to chaos, then you need to step away from it. And that's just how I see it. And
there's
that's
too much to talk about. There is 1,000 things on YouTube,
right.
the world. I could pick any subject. That's why I said I'm not your average YouTuber. I can talk about anything. I can talk about anything. I can hold a conversation about anything. I can go out to the street corner and talk to a random stranger about absolutely nothing and don't think they won't respond.
And it will be awesome content.
Yes, and most YouTubers cannot do that. They've got to, this is all they want to talk about.
Right.
And then if they can't get the truth, they'll make up stuff. And I'm not in that line of business. I'm not getting ready to make up stuff on no 15-year-old kid or no 5-year-old kid just to get likes and views.
Exactly. Same. Exactly.
No, I'm not doing that type of nonsense.
Yeah. Or to make content and make $1 off of these families and then go on your YouTube channel and talk bad about them.
Well, I tell you the subject I'm going to bring you tomorrow because I just realized, because I take notes and I had wrote down some topics on another notepad and I don't forget what I did with that notepad. But anyway, I started a new one. There is a topic out of Louisiana that I want to discuss, and that'll be my live tomorrow. How do you feel about the 10 Commandments being displayed in a schoolhouse? It is now a new law in Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my topics I had on my list from days ago, but I didn't go live until recently. So that will be my topic tomorrow. 10 Commandments is legal in a schoolhouse, in schoolhouses now in Louisiana. It is now the law. It will be displayed in the schoolhouses.
It was the actual first written law. It was the first written law ever.
Okay. Well, you know, we have people now in modern day. There are people who don't believe in God.
Yep.
People who don't believe in Jesus. So this will probably be a problem for those who are non-believers and those who are other faiths, Muslim, this, that, and the other. I'm sure there'll be a stir. So, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What time I will be joining you,
honey? I don't know.
Don't know.
It won't be too late. It won't be late.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know what time it'll be. It'll probably be early afternoon, maybe. But
I got a life outside of YouTube too, so yeah.
I might do a 2-for-1. We might talk about the 10 Commandments, and then we'll should they also talk about sex education, kind of mix it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because some people still don't want people talking about, sex with their children.
I think that if you do not talk to a child and give them sex education, whenever they are mature enough for sex education, your child goes off and gets pregnant, and you have to raise a grandchild because you didn't sit down and have the conversation with your child that you needed to have with them, that is on you and entirely your fault. And
that's why I pick certain subjects, because Tennessee is getting kind of strict with its laws with LGBTQ situations and things, and we've got all these laws on the books. We've got a lot of people who are not happy living in this state because of the LGBTQ things and the outing the children. And I don't call it outing. I think it's provision, because a teacher has every right to know how you're classifying yourself in the classroom. And I think your parent has every right to know, because they are the parent. You can't tell somebody that they're tattling on the child because the child's in school saying I'm Bob, but really it's a Barbara.
Well, let me explain it to you this way, Queen. There is no such thing as sexual education involving perversion of natural sexual functions. It should not be taught. If it does not meet the basic criteria for education in a genuine field that is appropriate for that age person. And let's face it, whenever you get into gender roles in adults, you are not getting into a basic life function conversation. You are getting into a philosophical, human emotion level conversation that I don't think should be had with anyone that is not looking into the field of psychology, because they are not ready for it.
So what are you saying? Nobody should talk about sex in school?
I don't think that they should teach. I think they should talk about sex in school on the biological level and the reproduction level and explain that. But no, I don't think that they should be talking about anything outside of biological reproduction and sexual education outside of.
So you're saying the parents should be saying
grade school,
talking about it with the children at home?
Oh no, parents should always talk, but there are parents out there that
some people aren't. So to think about what you're saying now,
right.
That's what you would do. That don't mean somebody else is going to do that. This is the reason why children grow up and get themselves tangled up in shit, because people don't want to talk about sex with their kids. They don't want to talk about abortions with their kids. They don't want to talk about different races and interracial dating. The list goes on and on of things you need to talk to children about. And as some people say, I don't want to talk to my kids about LGBTQ and transgender. I get that, because some children may not be ready for that. So that's what people don't understand about a child. Let's give an example that I'm checking out here. A little boy comes home and asks his mommy, hey, why does Bobby have two dads? Now, what is the parent supposed to say?
Yeah. Wow.
And this is why parents complain and say, I don't want you talking about that with my kid in school, because I don't even know what the hell to tell my kid about two daddies, two mommies. And that's being honest. Because if you don't understand homosexuality or you don't agree with it, how are you going to come out and tell your kid about it if you don't know your damn self? So that's being honest. Yeah. I don't know how to talk to my child about homosexuality. I'll wait. But you don't want to wait too long, because that's what people don't understand about the world right now. Your children need to know about really everything. Not about the earth being round, not about how to put a square box into a circle and equations. We're in a world where children need to know about drugs, alcoholism, death, homosexuality, bisexuality, transgender, who's on first, who's on second, two mommies, two daddies, interracial dating. You got to now come out the gate with your kids. Mm-hmm. And frankly, there are people who just aren't going to be able to explain these things to their children because they don't have no idea about it. So they got to go to fucking Google.
Yeah.
Hell, I had to go to Google to get all these new name changes for all this LGBTQ plus 8 times 12. I said, oh, shit.
I didn't. I don't.
I'm talking about all these names. They got different names for stuff. That's what I'm saying. They got different names for stuff. Frankly, I'm just going to be truthful. I'm not trying to keep up. I don't have to. Why? Why should I? I can't even remember people's names. You understand what I'm saying? I can't even remember people's names. And I got to try to remember what all this extra stuff means. When I Googled it a month or so ago doing a live stream, I just, all I did was read from the monitor. I didn't suck it up and try to remember. Why should I have to remember? Just saying. I don't want to. I got enough things to deal with. Because you're going to change the name in another year for something else. Then you're going to be telling me, oh, you need to know this. And you need to know that. Do I need to know? I'm just saying. Do I need to know a different terminology for... I'm just saying. Everything's about perception.
Queen, I don't know how I'm going to react the first time someone expects me to address them as an animal.
Girl, okay, you know what?
I don't even know. I don't know how I'm going to
react. Well, as I told people yesterday in a live, if you think you're a unicorn, I'm happy for you.
Go be a unicorn.
If you think you're a unicorn, you think you can fly, who am I to argue with you? So what I'm going to do is do this. Let's take a test. Let's take a test drive if you're a unicorn. I want you to open your window and jump your ass out. If you land and pop back up in the air, then you are a damn unicorn. Other than that, find your ass something else to focus on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stop bullshit.
If your poop isn't bright, colorful, delicious, frozen yogurt, you're not a unicorn. Stop eating that crap.
I can't believe you just said that. And I can't believe you just said that. You're sick.
It's a commercial.
And I was just getting ready to get off this live and get some fucking ice cream.
It's a commercial.
I don't give a damn.
I can't.
I was just getting ready to get some fucking ice cream. Did you know what I just said?
No, Queen. I'm sorry.
I got a choice of butter pecan, vanilla bean, rainbow sherbet, and here you come with this bullshit.
Go for the butter pecan.
After what you just said.
No. Think about it though. It's from a commercial.
Oh my God, whose name is this? Adjustable knee pads for Honda Civic lovers. I know damn well that can't be your damn email for Google. What the fuck? Oh man, you are kidding me.
I know who that is. That's a friend that comes over in our chat. They're funny. They're
oh my God.
They're good people. They really are. They're funny.
Butter pecan is least colorful. Well, ice cream is ice cream when you sit here listening to this damn bullshit. Here, this damn heifer up here got this sitting here. And I'm sitting there thinking this threw me all off to want ice cream, period.
Well, I'm jealous that
and you know I'm getting ready to put it on a sugar cone too.
Ooh, girl.
Honey, I bought it specifically for myself. That's my treat. That's my treat for myself. The ice cream and the sugar cone. And I got my medical results back today, and everything's A-OK.
Long live the
guess
queen.
what? I'm getting ready to go. I almost said something real ugly. I was going to go pretend to make some sugar cone breasts. Put the sugar cones in ice.
Oh my goodness, queen.
Just to say I'm feeling mighty, mighty fine.
Girl, you go do that. You go feel mighty, mighty fine. And have you some ice cream.
Oh, Bear.
You deserve it.
Bear.
You deserve it.
You go ahead and smoke that. You going to smoke that. I'd rather have an ice cream cone. Big girl rather have an ice cream cone than the bud. I'm sorry.
Because I wish I had me some ice cream right now.
You couldn't even put no marijuana in front of me, and I had to choose between that and ice cream. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Oh my goodness. Ice cream is amazing. So is sherbet though. I love sherbet.
Oh, ain't nothing like good sherbet. Rainbow sherbet or the regular sherbet. They got all kind of sherbet.
Yeah, I love sherbet.
Pineapple. I had that. My grandfather had that when he was sick. That's been many years ago. Pineapple sherbet. They got that raspberry sorbet.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's been a long time since I've had that.
I like orange sherbet and lime sherbet too. Lemon sherbet.
Lime. Okay. I think I've had lime a while back. It's been some years. Listen, Louse, you're making me hungry. Hell yeah, I'm going to get some ice cream. It's hot too. I had to turn this air conditioning off. And I'm about to blow up in here. Honey, this heat, this Tennessee heat is draining.
Done talked you right back into eating some ice cream, didn't I, Queen?
Honey, I'm getting ready to eat some ice cream. This room is hot. I'm sitting here about to pass out. I'm about to pass out.
All right, darling.
I'm going to find me something good to watch. I'll probably turn on one of these crazy movies. There's one I got lined up called Insta Killer. It's free on YouTube. It's about this girl. She's got, I guess, like an IG page, and she's got all these followers, 100,000 people. And so all of a sudden she gets a stalker, and you got to figure out who the stalker is. Well, I think I already figured it out because my stupid butt went and watched the damn trailer, and then the trailer kind of gave it away. midway through the trailer who they think the stalker is. And I wish now I hadn't watched the damn trailer, but I wanted to see what the movie was about, you know, if it was any good. So,
yep.
And she says the best part of the chat. Yeah. I only think about eating sherbet if I were sick. Oh, yeah. Sherbet's good for a sore throat.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You got a sore throat, you got the flu, you're not feeling good, got a fever. Sherbet is perfect.
It's hot outside.
Sore throat. Yeah. Like right now, it is warm as hell down here in Tennessee. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, Queen, just so you know, I'm jealous of you and your sherbet.
I'm sitting here thinking about I was outside the other day and I saw a bug and I said, that ain't no water bug. If it's a water bug, he was big. That was either a big ass roach or a big water bug was outside crawling. I said, oh my God. Because you know when it gets hot, all type of bugs come out from the earth. And this damn bug, shit, he needed a damn job.
Yeah.
He was big. Shit, I was looking. I said, where your backpack at? Where is your backpack? You know what he said.
What did he say?
I'm going to Hendersonville.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to the Proudfoots. She likes to feed you steak. Shit, damn.
I can't.
Oh, my Lord. That's a horrible joke, ain't it? Where you going? Hendersonville? Well, you need a backpack. Katie get me one. She'll get me one from Old Navy. What the fuck?
Oh, my goodness. I can't.
Where you going, Katie Proudfoot house? That's a long-ass walk. I'll get there.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, baby. Be careful. Shit, that roach just going down the interstate. You carry your ass on to Katie Proudfoot house. Hey, I tell that roach one thing. I bet you won't be coming back. How about that? Oh yeah, you know I could do stand-up comedy. I tell myself I couldn't, but I probably could. Where are you going, Katie Proudfoot house? Well, good luck.
Good luck.
We'll be praying for you.
Yeah, you're gonna need them prayers too. You want
Shit, that roach. Hey, wait a minute. That roach checked in, but it didn't check out. Shut the front door.
Oh, shut the front door. Oh my gosh, Queen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What happened? That roach checked in that Proudfoot driveway. He ain't came out yet.
Not yet.
Now, you know what we need? A gangster roach.
A gangster roach?
Yeah. So when that roach get to going to Katie Proudfoot house, he don't come back out. Here come all the Pookie, Ray, Bubba.
Oh, no.
Banging on the door. Where my cousin at? I saw my cousin come in here. Let us see it, or we kicking the door in. See if that roach come back out. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I shouldn't joke like that, but
no, I know what you're saying.
It's just sad.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if anybody's been doing any more searches down there. Oh my God! Stop it.
The last I did know, Seth had organized another search.
I was making a joke.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I see dead people.
The cockroaches love snacks. Oh no.
God. What are you searching for now? And you fuck around that heifer. Next time she goes searching, she gonna come back with a fucking comforter.
I just about fell out of my chair with that one. I'm sorry.
What you find? A comforter? Where you finding that? By the duck pond?
By the duck pond. Ooh.
Somebody probably is laying it down having a picnic.
Mm-hmm. By the duck pond.
Somebody said, I'm petrified of lizards. Girl, Kimberly, please stop. Oh, hello, unknown. Yeah. She'll find something new that she done found out there.
Yep.
And that's abhorrent as well. All this finding stuff. It's just like, you're making a mockery out of this little boy.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. A rubber ducky.
Did you hear that? What you find? Some alligator shoes.
Oh no.
Who left them? A pimp?
What?
A pimp?
Oh, Queen.
Yep. I said that.
Oof.
Just start making up stuff.
Yep.
Start making up any damn thing. What else did you find? A slip and slide? A what? A slip and slide. What you mean? You know, the thing you put in the swimming pool. Just say any damn thing.
A half a tube of toothpaste.
Girl, stop.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, every week it'll be something new. A hula hoop.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's the reason
Oh my gosh. I found a half-eaten box of chocolates.
That must have been Forrest Gump.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I just shake my head. Every time somebody comes to me, I just be like, man, how y'all listen to that shit? There just comes a point when your brain needs to be on auto or something that you need to just,
detach.
Something. Get it together.
Yeah.
Just get it together.
Yep.
It's sad to me because it's like nobody's paying attention to what's really going on. These people are just, this is all fluff. The people writing this, making these videos that they're deranged, and people in the story deranged. So it's like, it's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
It's like, what is wrong with everybody? It's time for everybody to get their, as I said, thumb out their ass and wake up.
Whenever anybody that has a clue doesn't knows what happened here, but if they only look at the numbers. Look at the statistics.
It's
look at the numbers.
Bear, please stop. Bear, don't nobody care about you smoking that shit. I still eat ice cream before I mess with some marijuana. Hell yeah, I will. What I just said, as soon as I get off this live stream.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let you go. Queen, thank you for having me. You are always
You're welcome. Yes,
lovely host.
We had a good time. And join me tomorrow if you can. We will chop up this 10 Commandments in the schoolhouse in Louisiana. For those coming in, ear hustling, that will be tomorrow's live stream, or today's rather, because it's a new day. Louisiana has passed a new law that will post the 10 Commandments in all schoolhouses in the state. Feel free to join in. And I'm also going to put it up on a poll. So I thought I had done that already the other day, but I guess I forgot. So I'm going to put that up again, and you can take the poll if you feel like this law should be a law. And also we will put a question for the United States in general.
Yep.
All right. See you later, Virginia.
I'll take the polls. All right. Later.
Okay.
Blessings.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you. All right. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeganG129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome in the live stream. Thank you for those who sent stickers and chats during this live stream. Join us today, later on for a chat about the 10 Commandments. This is a new law in Louisiana that the 10 Commandments will be posted in schoolrooms throughout the state. Do you agree, disagree? When I shut this live down, I will put up a poll. Feel free to go over to my community page, take the poll. Feel free to go over and take any other polls on the network. And also go into YouTube queue to check out my 15-second shorts on Miss Papini, Rex Heuermann's daughter, Victoria, Sherry Gilbert, her commentary pertaining to John Ray and this nonsense with Miss Victoria. I have a lot of shorts I put up. Feel free to comment on those videos, to give your commentary. Thank you all for joining me. Welcome all new subs, old viewers, new viewers, and subscribers. You all have a wonderful weekend, because I just realized it's Friday. So you all be safe. Mind the children. Be aware of your surroundings, ladies. As they say, don't take any wooden nickels. Amen. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to the Vault XL.